Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another edition of 13 Cards Subject to Change, live on Spotify, YouTube, and for the first time, I'm proud to say, like one of my idols in the radio business, live on iHeartRadio.
Awesome
yes,
stuff.
that is official. Leroy has confirmed it. We are now officially on iHeartRadio, and that is a huge step for us, and that's great.
Yes.
I absolutely love that.
Hey, trust me, when I was uploading on Podomatic and all of a sudden, boom, one of their media servers, iHeartRadio, I was like, yes!
Yes,
I had to go for it.
So, more ways to listen to us. I don't know, do we get... Now, is that still through the fact that we only have Podomatic, so they only listen to the episodes that are on Podomatic? Is that how that works?
Yes, everything is on Podomatic,
Okay,
so if you
fantastic.
have missed any of the episodes, go to our YouTube channel and check it out there.
I believe there's 51 episodes currently
Yes.
on the YouTube channel. When you go to
Yeah, something
YouTube,
like that.
subscribe, leave a like. We would love that. It'd be awesome to talk to you guys. We're always... Please comment as well. We'd be happy to get in touch with you.
Absolutely.
At any point. A lot of stuff here today. Some interesting stuff.
And I should
finally-
say, too, remember, when you are searching on iHeartRadio, make sure to
Please.
put the 13 card on there. Make the 13, because there is one on there that has a very similar name to our podcast.
Yes.
So make sure to get the 13 in on it.
Yep. All right. So anyway, lots happened. Some stuff we got to go through. We may be pausing some of our stuff here today because we were hoping on getting Jack Ledger, who was in the ladder.
Yes.
The not ladder match, but
Ladder Invitational.
The ladder invitational
Yes.
from the MAW show Basher, that lift bridge.
Correct.
He might be calling in to Leroy here during the show. If he does, we're going to transition into that. Until then, we have a fantastic lineup here today. We are now on the heels of Empower.
Yes.
And what a show it
73.
was, ladies and gentlemen. An all-women's pay-per-view night. Everyone put on a great match.
Phenomenal
It was
stuff.
absolutely fantastically
Phenomenal
done.
stuff.
I'm not going to... Now is not the time to poke fun at what WWE did, because I think Jesse's even chronicled here on the show. The WWE pay-per-view really kind of had some last-minute changes that kind of hurt them.
Yeah.
They didn't get what they wanted. I mean, I feel like the WWE all-women's pay-per-view will always be a big what-if in wrestling
Yeah.
if they had been able to schedule who they wanted and book who they wanted.
Yeah.
But no, this this whole night, from start to finish, every lady did a fantastic job. Put up
course.
huge reactions. The
Oh,
fans
yeah.
were into it. Big ups to that.
Much respect to...
It looks like we've got Jack. Are we all ready here?
perfect.
Okay.
No, not yet.
Not yet?
He sent me a message back. He got what his message I sent back to him.
Okay,
so,
perfect. All right, so
hopefully,
yep. Leroy will
20 minutes, half an
sounds
hour.
good.
Okay,
whatever.
yeah, no, we'll go with
All
that. But no, I mean,
We're going for it.
Camille, who will be seen at MAW Women of Nations,
Yes.
the charity event,
Yep.
she retained her championship.
That'll be November 13th, down in a lovely...
Wonderful, heart-touching moment of Awesome Kong and Gail Kim.
Yeah.
Long before anybody gave a shit about women's wrestling, and Nick Aldis even said during our interview, WWE doesn't deserve the hate for their 20-second Divas matches, because he said even the indie promotions weren't putting girls matches on.
No.
Because how old is Stardom over there in
So, I mean, Stardom's a good 40 years old.
Right.
So they've been ahead of the curve for a long time.
Right, but the problem is that, Japan being the niche audience that it was for all those years.
But even for years, I mean, they did enough business to stay open, but
Right.
they weren't the money maker. Which
No,
is
no,
why
no,
they
no,
were-
no, no, no.
I think they were always a subsidiary. I want to say of Noah.
Okay, all right,
So-
yeah, but no, I mean, no. Last night's pay-per-view, absolutely amazingly well done. I caught a lot of this. I've caught some highlights. I caught the still stuff.
Yeah.
Back to the Gail Kim Awesome Kong thing. Now, again, Leroy and I were talking about this off mic, but is she retired? Who knows? Because she's done this a couple of times.
That is true.
She is the Brett Favre of wrestlers when it comes to that.
It is also the wrestling business.
Yes.
So we're not here to piss on that, because
Well,
the
no,
truth
no,
is
no.
that, folks, I want to say it again. When you talk about women's wrestling,
Mm-hmm.
and Jim Cornette said it best during his absolutely now God-given rant of Vince Russo.
Oh, yeah.
When Awesome Kong, Abdullah the Butcher, old
Mm-hmm.
style, Ricky Morton style, babyface, and Gail Kim.
Yeah.
Gail Kim could sell. That is an era of wrestling. And when I say era, I mean women's wrestling, just wrestling in general. Those two, you go back and watch any match.
Yeah.
Gail was not... And this is my problem with what I've seen out of the AEW women's division, especially because Nyla Rose is so much more bigger than their
Yeah.
competition.
Yeah.
ladies and gentlemen, you go back and you watch those matches.
Yeah.
Everything was a fight.
Yeah.
It was realistic.
Yeah.
Awesome Kong, when she was vulnerable, it was after Gail got her to run into the turnbuckle a couple of times. Kong would come off the top and miss a move. Gail wasn't really on the offensive as much as she was trying to get Kong to make a mistake.
Yes.
The
Yeah.
you want an actual real teaching psychology of wrestling, you watch those matches, because Gail sold exactly the way she needed to. Kong sold when Kong was supposed to.
And they had just phenomenal chemistry in the ring.
They were so good together.
Every story, took parts of their past.
Had they known each other before this feud?
So apparently they've known each other for a while.
Okay.
The histomics for me right now might be a little incorrect, but I'm going to give it a shot. Because it's me going into my wrestling knowledge history here. They knew each other before Gail went to WWE.
Okay.
They had wrestled some stuff way back in what was still kind of territorial / development days.
Yeah.
And so those two ladies had already known each other.
Yeah.
Of course, WWE really never took a chance on Awesome Kong until later in her career.
Right, obviously.
But when Awesome got to TNA, I think it was Kong who kind of convinced Gail to come over.
First of all, I refuse to give Russo any credit for that, because remember, I mean, he kind of gimmicked out the whole Knockouts division when he realized that Dutch Mantel was getting better ratings. But I don't think, and this is not WWE's fault, I don't think that Kong and Gail Kim would have been able to work in WWE, because let's be honest,
During
Jesse,
the Divas days, no. Because unfortunately, Gail Kim could just out-wrestle almost all those women.
Right, but you also got to remember...
Not named Trish, who got just insanely great in the ring.
But you also got to realize, and one of the saddest parts about it is
and of course, Kelly Kelly.
Yeah. That profile picture ain't coming down for a while.
For a while.
I don't think people realize Vince has always followed the audience, whether people think that or not.
Correct.
And I hate to say it, folks, but when you sit there and you boo as loud as you can, he's still getting a reaction out of you, which is always looking for. If you don't do anything, that's when shit goes awry.
Yeah.
When things happen, for better. This is the thing that I think, Leroy, you and I talked about this before Jesse was even on the show for many months. Roman got a reaction, whether people want to admit it or not. If you wanted Roman to go away, don't do anything. Sit there on your hands and knees. Don't flip him the bird. Don't boo. Don't cheer. Because even if he's getting booed, Vince is still filing that back in the file cabinet, going, "We can use this in a little bit here." Because I mean, the fact of the matter is that people want them to sign someone, or they want them to change the gimmick mid-thing. It's like, you wrote 4 months of television, you still have to do it. I mean,
It is true. I mean, the worst thing to do come out on any show is you come out and they announce it and it's crickets and nobody does anything. That's a killer.
But no, we have a bunch here outside of that. But again, wonderful pay-per-view. I'm not here, like I said, people want to bash WWE for what they did. That pay-per-view is always a what-if.
Actually, like I said,
they couldn't get Trish versus Alexa, which I think would have torn the house down.
I just think overall that pay-per-view to me is still a success in the sense that
no, it wasn't a failure, but it's still a what if.
It is a what if, but I've always said, like, it's such a success because it showed you. Now, while they didn't do another one, which has always been disappointing, while Mickey ended up leaving, but it was one of those things that it shows you, like, oh, this can be at least. It wasn't successful on the level I think WWE was hoping for. But it was still successful. And
but people also have to remember, not to interrupt you, but Stephanie didn't close the door on ever doing it again.
No,
she just said there's no current plans for it. But then again, outside of the big 5 pay-per-views, I'm sure that they kind of throw names at a wall, and sometimes they go back to Armageddon.
I mean, listen,
sometimes it's No Mercy.
Yeah, I was gonna say they go when it's not one of the big 5. They go through their pay-per-views like crazy every year. Like the only one that still is kind of like concurrent now every year for the most part is Money in the Bank. Because that allows them to do storylines.
Exactly.
But otherwise, like they changed their mind on a lot of pay-per-view names every year. But I was super happy for Empower. By the way, just big ups to Billy Corgan. Doing great things in NWA, allowing this to happen.
Everybody wondered about Billy, but here's the thing. I've come on here, and I've also said in real life, I don't view modern day pop stars as storytellers. I don't believe that Adele writes anything special because here's the deal. Most of her hits are actually from the guy who wrote for the Hannah Montana show. I mean, there's a writer behind her.
Yeah.
Billy Corgan, he had to write most of his stuff because, I mean, the Smashing Pumpkins didn't really exactly garner a lot of mainstream attraction in the industry. They sold well. I love the Smashing, love what Smashing Pumpkins did, but, he was always a niche. He was always something that was kind of weird.
Alternative rock.
Yeah, exactly. So, but it's like Billy wasn't buying 30 songs for an album. Billy had to sit down and even when they sort of broke up and came back together, he took out that full page ad. Was that in the Chicago Tribune?
I think so.
Okay, yeah. It was only him, and I think it was the drummer showed up.
Yeah.
Okay, but the thing about it is that Billy has always been the driving force behind the Smashing Pumpkins. He's been a great lyricist. He understands how to fuck with people's emotions because he's an artist.
And so he also recently did an interview with Rich Eisen.
Yes,
because Rich wanted to get him on the show not just to promote Empower,
and Rich is a great interview, by the way. It's a fantastic interview.
But he also wanted to kind of congratulate Billy and kind of get the story behind, like, you're bringing what was originally probably back in the day the biggest wrestling company in this country.
Oh, without a doubt.
Kind of back to some more prominence that it used to have. And what Billy said was...
Billy just needs more mainstream television.
So what he was saying was, his time at TNA taught him so much. Because people kind of forget, he was actually one of the ones who originally wanted to buy it from Jeff Jarrett.
Yes.
And Dixie Carter, of course, the rug was lifted deep from under him. And he was just like, F it, I'm out, as he said.
Yeah.
But he said when he got the opportunity... he saw NWA was for sale, the library was for sale, and he said, I found it insane that at the time Vince McMahon wanted nothing to do with it.
Well, but
here, let me finish.
Go ahead.
What he was saying was, he's like, I found it insane because he was like, at the price they were selling it at.
Yeah.
He's like, I thought there's no way I'm going to get my hands on this.
Yeah.
He said he put in his bid. He said it was amazing. Like a week later, like, it's yours.
Yeah.
And he was just like, wait. The guy from Connecticut didn't call you?
I'm not here to defend Vince on that, but what I'm here to say is that NWA style wrestling was never Vince's version of wrestling. So it doesn't actually surprise me that he wouldn't have wanted that, because I mean the truth is that anything that I think he needed out of the NWA library was at that point public domain.
Yeah.
He didn't, it's like it's not a library that Vince was really needing. But
it was one of those things that, like Billy was saying, when the company was up for sale, in his head, he was like, I assume Vince is going to buy this.
Oh, yeah.
Because, of course, they were thinking about, even with NXT at the time, still going back to some territorial stuff.
Yeah.
And he assumed in his head, when he put in his bid, that Vince would be like, perfect, I can use NWA to develop kids, which is fine.
Yeah.
But when he was told, like, yeah, you're the best bidder, so it's yours, his whole plan went into motion of, okay, well, I met some really great wrestling minds who came in and out of TNA.
Yeah.
I actually met a few in WWE when I would go as a celebrity guest.
I still can't believe how bad Impact was with that many people there, but I mean, all it takes is one really sour apple.
And I'm not even rotted from the head down at the time.
That's the thing. I can't even blame Russo because Russo has no idea what he's doing to begin with. When you have somebody like Dixie Carter who was pitching Real Housewives of Nashville more than she was trying to pitch a wrestling company, when she was taking Daddy's money to...
I was about to say, what was unfortunate about what was going on in TNA back then is you allowed a very sexy Southern belle who really didn't know shit about wrestling, but her family was extremely rich, run a wrestling company. Unfortunately, Jeff Jarrett needed the partner at the time.
Yes.
But
because that was the Health South story. They'd fallen through with the Health South.
Because, for a short time, he owned both that and NWA, which is why their original championship was at 10 pounds of gold. So it's one of those things where, he needed the financial partner because they wanted to grow. And unfortunately, he mingled with the wrong partner.
Yeah, exactly.
But what Billy has done in the last 4 to 5 years, now what he kind of teased the Rich a little bit that got fans excited right before this pay-per-view is he's looking into national television again for NWA.
And Billy's a guy who, like I said, years in the music industry, highly successful music industry. For those of you that don't realize, the Smashing Pumpkins was a very widely named or widely known named band for their time in the 90s.
So on his name alone, he can at least garner interest from television.
He'll get a meeting.
I hope so. I would love it, and I would love to be able to see it. So get another option on wrestling. And he's smart. And it's like, is he going to compete with WWE? Can he do it? No, he can't. But
if Billy
stays something else out there,
if Billy stays
great for our fans.
So if Billy stays in his lane, and that lane is presenting NWA style wrestling, studio wrestling that is more sports based, without the little gimmicks of like records and standings. If he can stick to that, I think that he'll. Because here's the deal. If he can stick to that and he can get it more nationally known, then you get those 10 million people back who stopped watching wrestling years ago.
Here's what I was going to say. So when he brought that up, I thought of you, and I thought of your age group who grew up with NWA and all those territories back in the day.
We're talking about Leroy specifically, just making sure.
Not you.
We're not. Well,
nobody likes you.
That's fair.
All right. But yeah, so because people blame the whole another thing about their age demographic is really old. By the way, it's 30 and up. That's not super old. I don't know where people get that. It's stupid. But they're like, you know what, Billy? If he could get on national television, he could capture your age group again, Leroy, to come back to being like, oh, this is what I grew up with.
And I also hate to say it, but what people forget, because we're always talking about the demo that AEW is trying to get, the 18 to 49. Leroy, your demographic really has the money. Mostly these days to spend on this kind of stuff.
And you guys don't actually give a shit about AEW.
That's true.
No, I really don't give a shit about them at all. And I actually do have money. But I mean, I do, because I've watched some of what he's done and what they produce. It's a small, intimate little area like they did. They just did it in a small studio where they did one, and
most of the wrestling that you watched was studio. The TV tapings were mostly studio wrestling. It was on a sound stage. Which, by the way, reportedly AEW is now moving all Dark and Dark Elevation tapings to Universal Studios.
Smart business move I've heard from them so far.
That should be a good deal for them.
Since signing CM Punk and probably Bryan Danielson, this is the smartest one I've heard.
Yeah.
Because they were running almost 4 or 5 hour shows on the road to record those two.
Right.
Which was stupid.
Yeah.
Because no one wanted to watch it.
Everybody wants to go back to like when Alice and I went down to SmackDown and we were talking about maybe filming this, that. No, Superstars was not filmed, but it was only about a 3-hour wrestling show if you really want to break it down. A couple of dark matches that were just to get tape on guys, the overall 2-hour show, and then the main event went maybe 10, 15 minutes. So, I mean, Vince has it down that when you're entertaining the live crowd, and, I understand their pay-per-views go a little long. I get all that. But when it comes
to... Big Five usually go a little long.
It's a pay-per-view. It can do that.
But when it comes to a basic weekly television spot, Vince can do no wrong as far as I'm concerned.
No.
I wonder who got in Tony's ear or Cody's ear to say, hey, maybe we should do this.
Well, but Universal Studios was always open to it from the get-go.
So apparently this is Tony's decision, which is, like I said, you're going to see a lot more of this.
Yeah.
A smart idea from Tony.
I'm
surprised.
So he recently admitted, for the company that likes to take shots at WWE.
Yeah.
So he recently admitted, before he went and bought this company, he's talked to Vince. He talked to Vince 4 times before they decided to start this.
Yeah.
To get his to get his knowledge about how he's run pro wrestling. So Tony now, like I said, Tony and Cody aren't stupid people.
No,
they're, like I said, they're just. It's too much. It's too much. Oh, this is family. This is family.
Yeah.
At some point, it's still a business.
Yeah.
And so, I think Tony understands. Like, you know what? So apparently, he's been working this out the last 4 months. Where he's like, I need to get this into a studio when we go back on the road.
Yeah.
Because we can still build these people. We can still. But because here's the thing, they don't promote Dark or Dark Elevation on their 2 TV shows.
Nope.
So what is the point of even,
And by the way, funny story, I've commented that on a bunch of wrestling pages on Facebook recently. Nobody's come back at me because they can't. They can't come back at me and say that I'm wrong, because the truth is that outside of the Sports Center ticker on the bottom, you don't give a shit about that show.
And people don't know. So NWA, apparently, he has partnerships with at least 2 to 3 of the wrestling schools down in the South.
Yeah.
And it's insanely amazing that he got those partnerships, because now he can teach kind of the young guys that they want to come work for him.
Yeah.
That here's the NWA style of wrestling that we're going to do. It's going to be very old school. So it's for sure. So it's one of those things where, like, I really love what Billy's doing. This pay-per-view showed that, like we were talking to Billy or Nick Aldis about. Their future is insanely bright.
Oh, incredibly, yes.
And I'm hoping, and this will be the beautiful thing if it happens before I'm 40, that they're the third huge American presence on television.
Yeah.
Because to me, that means I can get old heads to maybe watch wrestling with me and love wrestling with me. And that would be great. Like that, I think that's phenomenal.
I'd love to do it before I turn 50. That's only in a few years.
All right, so
oh god, that'd be awesome.
So
that'd be awesome.
From the good to some good and bad. Now into our AEW news. Reportedly, Jim Ross will be stepping away from TV full-time. Jim has actually, on his Twitter account since then, said, and I quote, "That's news to me." I actually kind of wish he would, in the sense that I think that Jim could be so much better behind the scenes, because I'm sorry, I've said it from day one, I know he loves to comment or to commentate on live wrestling. He's been checked out. I'm sorry.
It's clear.
As soon as the camera starts rolling, Jim's done. Yeah. It's just for those of you who watch Dynamite, think it's the greatest thing since sliced bread. He wasn't supposed to be on Dynamite.
No.
Or no, sorry, not on Dynamite. He wasn't supposed to be on Rampage. He's now on Rampage. It's just, folks, this doesn't make any sense based on what he was for WCW, for the Jim Hurt WCW, obviously, for WCW, WWE, Attitude. It's just Jim is not interested in what's happening because he doesn't know what to do. Jim is left out on a fishing line to dangle so many times.
I've always said I didn't understand after the first 6 months why Excalibur, once he got comfortable more on national television.
Yeah.
Excalibur, whether you like him or not, he's a guy who used to comment in PWG. He was the main commentator because he retired. He had to retire early as a wrestler.
Right.
He understands that crowd.
Yeah, exactly.
And what those guys are going to try to do. So it would come off better if he's the main guy commentating on it.
Which I agree because I feel like.
And I love Jim, and like I told people, I'm like I would have loved to see Jim commentate still in English in Japan,
right? Obviously,
because he loved that kind of stuff because it almost felt like a throwback to him,
right?
So you can tell he was more invested in that. You can just, like you said, you can almost tell like most of the time he's checked out. Like the last time I heard him interested in AEW. Was because CM Punk came out to do an interview last Wednesday.
Right.
Like, that was it. And that's just because he knows the guy.
Yeah.
He helped to recruit him out of Ring of Honor.
Yep.
He knows him. He
my
likes
biggest,
Phil.
well, it's just my biggest thing is that I wish that it was true. If it's not, fine. That just means somebody down there is doing a bad job of reporting. But
I got a feeling it is true.
I want it to be true.
I keep saying that there's a reckoning coming.
Yeah.
Especially that's why Cody, it's okay that we don't talk all the time. No, you clearly are very upset with this partnership you have with your friends.
And by the way, to our boy Jacob from DPW there, Jake, there's a lot of underground sources. Jesse found them through Reddit and other places. No. There's facts that they
don't talk.
They don't talk to the level that you think. All is not right in the world of AEW management.
They don't
No.
Like I said, those Tony and like I said that's why I think there is a lot of hope for AEW because Tony and Cody are not dumb people.
No,
I think you're absolutely right. It was a lot of Tony being like, "Let's be buddy,"
yeah,
and Cody being like, "Well, I don't want to hurt my friends." But I think they both understand as a two-head honchos, like,
yeah,
this is still a business and things have to change. So. Here's an embarrassing fact that AEW fans didn't want to point out.
Yeah.
Their show 3 weeks ago before CM Punk 2 weeks ago before CM Punk did Rampage.
You're talking about Dynamite.
Yeah. So they're very what I give them more credit for than what WWE has done since fans have come back.
Yeah.
Is they find a way to capitulate those fans right in that inner circle.
Yeah.
No pun intended.
No. I know. For those of you who might be saying to me, "Hey, look, a regular Dynamite finally hit 1 million," I'm like, that was not a regular Dynamite. That was CM Punk's debut. Okay, like I said, give me a week where you're not riding high off of some big signing, and then we'll talk. And I'm not changing the rules. I feel like I've been. You guys can tell me. I feel like I've been consistent on that from the get-go. When there's not a big situation happening the week before that you've teased, if you can just give me a night where I don't have teasers, I just have the show, and that breaks 1 million, then I'll give you credit.
Yeah.
But you've yet to do that.
Yeah, no, they haven't.
And by the way, Rampage only 1.13 million. Yes, it was on a Friday night. Yes, it was the 9 to 10 o'clock hour. But here's the deal: you had your regular show on at that time for 2 hours. You couldn't get 500,000. CM Punk doubled that on the rumor he was going to be there. Quick question. You think Rampage will do that same number? You think Rampage?
Not a chance in hell.
No. Not even without. Because here's the deal. He said in the interview, "I'll be here Wednesdays, Fridays, 6 Sundays a month." You think CM Punk's going to do Rampage and Dynamite every week? No. He's going to do Dynamite. He'll do
Dynamite at least, but... Well, and here's the thing. Like I keep telling people who are excited about Bryan Danielson showing up,
but
it's one of those things where, like... Yeah, but while he's coming to work with some of your younger guys... He's
even said he wants less dates.
He wants less dates because his plan is to go work in New Japan as well.
Yeah.
That's why I'm like, I don't know why he just didn't go sign with them. But I think he personally doesn't want to move there.
I understand that, yeah.
But otherwise, I'm like, we'll see how much it matters in 4 months.
Yeah.
But... to kind of relate it all back together, like, it's one of those things, and that's why I keep saying the reckoning is coming.
Yeah.
Where like it's just gonna it's so constant. It's so the one consistent thing about AEW right now is its inconsistency and its issues. And the two main guys are eventually going to go to those other guys and be like, we have to just take over because this isn't working.
And the other problem that people realize is that that's contradictory to what Tony Khan has recently stated, that when WWE said no more indie guys, which again I'm fine with. They were never built on indie talent to begin with. Vince has never built this company on indie talent. He built this company on the biggest stars in the goddamn business and putting them all in one place. So here's the deal. That doesn't bother me. What bothers me is Tony Khan going out there and saying, "Oh, we're going to have a big bunch of signing in the next 4 to 6 months." And I'm like, okay, 2 things. One, so you sign a bunch of WWE cuts, and it's like, congratulations, now your entire TV is 20 dudes who just came off WWE television.
That poster looked very, very WWE in 2016, didn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, God, yes.
Yeah. And by the way, number 2, so what? We're just going to get to 160 wrestlers on your fucking roster, and only 30 of them are going to get TV time? You can't keep paying 100 dudes to sit in the back. You can't just sit there and be the nice place where a bunch of people, and I'm sorry, but Joey Janela is a prime example of this. You can't just be working in a place where 90% of the people are just happy to get their check, which they've never gotten for actually doing their bullshit, to do nothing.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, you can't be that place. It doesn't make any sense. So Tony Khan's going to run Dynamite. Someday it might hit the ratings that Raw does, which, by the way, hit 2 million.
I'm about to say, hit 2 million this week.
Raw's back over 2.
Well, they're going to be...
On a show that a lot of people said was garbage. And it went over 2 million.
They didn't like Monday?
No.
Not this past Monday. I think it was the Monday before SummerSlam.
Oh, no, it was the Monday after SummerSlam.
It was the Monday after SummerSlam. They were not huge fans of it in the lounge, but it was over 2 million.
I mean, and it was a more down episode.
Yeah.
Besides the beginning, which felt really fresh
with
what they did. But Otherwise, yeah, it was still felt like a down episode the rest of the episode. Yeah, they still did over 2 million.
You know one reason why I liked it? Bro.
Matt,
oh my God, I love it.
Matt Riddle may be one of the best things going in wrestling overall. He just might be.
Him and with Randy,
Randy's having fun with this. Jesse's got that look in his eye where he's like, whoever's having fun with this.
Randy's really enjoying this.
I just love it. It's like whoever came up with this idea.
And by the way, folks,
and they pitched it at Randy. Right. Randy goes.
And by the way, folks, for all those people out there who are saying things on the internet like, why would Randy want to get involved with a guy who every time he opens his mouth pisses everyone else off? I'm like, did you not watch the first 10 years of Randy Orton? Over 75% of the people that Randy pissed off, they're all gone anyway. Randy's the top of the line.
Let me take you back to 2003. Everyone, Randy Orton. I got this.
But anyway, no. Here's my thing. Mm-hmm. Tony Khan is going to have 160 people on his roster, not even his production. But he's going to have 160 people on the roster.
They probably should invest more in the production.
A little bit.
Like, you keep hiring...
Yeah, I think a little bit.
Like, you keep hiring former, like, WWE, wrestlers. Like, you need to hire some former WWE production.
But the thing about it is that...
Dynamite sometimes is Dynamite's hard to watch because it's so frantic.
Yeah.
Like, I know people are like, man, I love it. I'm like, so the whole world has ADHD then, because the whole wrestling world. Because I don't know how you sit there for 2 hours and you're not, like, even after all the jump cuts that WWE does, and we complain about them and we should.
Yep.
Just how quick the show goes, nothing is able to breathe. You're just like, well, dude, there was something cool going on.
Not only that, but as far as I'm concerned, ladies and gentlemen, this is a 90-minute show because you have to factor in 30 minutes of unwatchable elite bullshit.
Correct.
Because here's the deal: not even AEW hardcore fans are watching the elite segments anymore. It's the elite fans that are watching the elite segments. Those segments are turning off AEW crowds.
Guys, what did I say? I said Kenny Omega is the worst world champion in professional wrestling. I said he's the most boring, stupid world heavyweight champion. The story makes no sense because it's not believable.
Can I cut Roman Reigns? So he's been doing missionary position for 40 years, and it really sucks.
Can I just point something out? And this is kind of a thing to both of you guys. Jesse, it's different because of the way he was brought up, but did Okada really need a spokesman?
No, and I mean, he had Gato, but eventually
since he became the Golden Boy.
Yeah.
Leroy, did Ric Flair ever need a manager? Or I mean, unless he was working with somebody else. Did Ric Flair ever need someone to talk for Ric Flair?
Hell no.
So why is Don Callis talking for the supposed best wrestler in the world?
Because unfortunately, you're absolutely right about those damn breathy promos. It doesn't make sense.
To be fair to even Kenny, I think Rick sounds like that when he cuts it when he's having.
The promos are absolutely horrible, and then like on top of that, like it also doesn't make sense that the story is stupid.
What story? It's just been him and Don for almost 6 to 8 months now, and they've really done nothing.
And then Don acts like he can beat up fans. Like it's stupid. Listen, the Young Bucks are at the worst they've ever been.
Have you ever noticed? And I think Brian Last is the one person that keeps mentioning this more so, but he keeps asking Jim his opinion. Would Dynamite's ratings suffer if we didn't have a Bucks segment?
It'd probably be better.
Oh, yeah, it'd be better.
It'd be a lot better.
Here's the deal. I don't think they'd change. I'm serious. That audience is gonna watch that 2-hour show, whether the Bucks take a week off or not. And the problem is that in their mind, they don't think they can take a week off. They don't think of that, so they just keep doing.
To be fair, if they took 3 weeks off, they may become insanely irrelevant.
Well, they already are.
They would be so far off the beaten path of the ocean of relevancy. They can't even get to the damn island.
That's true.
Okay, Roman. They can't even get to the island.
The biggest thing for me, and this is the biggest problem with AEW.
By the way,
and I'm not
amazing how the Good Brothers started to go do their work again for New Japan Strong.
Yeah,
they're already in a better storyline now with the Tongans.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Don't take much.
But I hate to say it.
All they had to do was get away from their friends.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, I'm not
Just
here.
Get away from the young sucks.
I'm not here to rip on smaller wrestlers because Jesse, I think you said it last week. You ain't gonna get those 6'8" guys anymore in wrestling.
No.
Inconsistently, it's not gonna happen.
No.
But the Bucks are two guys who could have made a very, very healthy living as a mid-card tag team.
Yeah.
The problem is because they sold a bunch of T-shirts, they deluded themselves into thinking they were main eventers, and the problem is that somebody who is the biggest money mark in the history of the business, and it ain't even close, he believed them and he gave them the opportunity. They're not main event talent. They're just not.
No.
I'm sorry, but they were main event in ROH because of the Bullet Club, because of Adam Cole, Bebe, because of Marty Scurll at the time, because of what Kenny was doing over in Japan. Mostly, and when I say Kenny in Japan, I mean what Gato allowed him to do. But the point is that what they are two guys who got too big for their britches, and the problem is they found somebody that had no problem telling them you can fit those britches.
Yeah.
No company brought them in and signed them to a deal and said, nope, this is where you are, you don't like it.
By the way, like when you turn down WWE's deal because of course Tony Khan decides to go ahead and go forward with the company with you, I think the reflection didn't probably feel good, because that means WWE was like, we think you're worth this much. By the way, apparently it was still 6 to 7 figures.
It was a 7-figure deal.
But you probably weren't going to be in the main event.
No.
And since you like to do comedy, you're going to do a lot of it.
Yeah. See, that's the sad part. The Bucks don't realize WWE was going to let them do their shtick.
You're going to be stupid comedy wrestlers in WWE.
But boys,
Ron Killings is making a killing doing just that.
Well, not only that, but ladies and gentlemen, are we forgetting that there's nothing wrong with a guy having his time in the sun, which Ron Killings did, and then deciding to have a little fun with it. People always sit there and say, well,
he doesn't look it.
No.
Oh my God, yes.
Everybody wants to say Ron Killings gave up on the business. Ron Killings didn't give up on shit.
Ron Killings is smart. So what Ron understood is that Vince still loves him.
Yep.
He's probably not going to get to a main event again, and that's okay.
And Ron doesn't care.
No. And so, but Vince always wants to put him on TV because he knows how fun it is.
I also want to point something out, because we're talking about the wrestling business. The history matters. Jesse, is this maybe not one of the most successful African American runs ever in the business?
He's insanely successful. Insanely successful. But he's smart. He understood, like, listen, I'm probably not going to get another main event
run. Not at 55, no.
But here's the thing. Like, the boss loves me.
Yep.
The son-in-law loves me. The daughter absolutely adores me.
Yeah.
Like, apparently they have him around the babies all the time.
Why not?
So the family loves him.
He's a great dad.
And, like, exactly. And, like, they're like, listen, man, like, we want to still feature you on television any way we can. And he's still making buku money doing the 24/7 stuff. Like, he's made that work. He's made, like...
By the way, it is actually fairly entertaining.
Yeah.
You'll love it. Oh, it's great.
It's one of those things where, like I said, it's so weird to me.
How much money you want to put down that R-Truth will still be doing something in WWE at 60 years old?
I'm not even going to place a bet because you'll win.
Oh God!
But he'll definitely be doing something in comedy or something.
But here's great. But see, this is the thing that just boggles my mind. Everything the Bucks are doing right now, they could have done in WWE.
Yeah.
The problem is that they thought they were bigger. But what I don't understand is, how do you have this mindset that you're bigger, but you're doing the same shtick? You didn't even look. Nothing against your PWG days.
Yeah.
But they're doing the same shtick.
Oh, like I said, I was actually
10 years. Dude, PWG has.
I was never even a fan of them at PWG.
But Jesse, that's my point. Even PWG, from when you rode the road with it to now, they've evolved.
Yes, they have.
They have a uniqueness to them now. They're different from when you were there. But the Bucks are doing the same shtick they were doing on the lower card in PWG. It's like, boys, I'm sorry, you were not the main event of PWG. You were not, okay? That's not how this works.
They had some main event matches, but they were usually trios matches or like, because hell,
you were filler, boys.
Well, because people, forget that one of the first
Fillers
quote unquote
pretty
elite,
good, but they're not. They're not that. They're that tangy, crappy filling.
One of their first elite members was Kevin Steen.
Yeah,
but Kevin Steen was already a main eventer, so yeah, they got to be in some main event matches
because of Kevin Steen.
But it's like I said, it's one of those.
Great on commentary, by the way.
He was phenomenal.
He was fun on commentary.
Yeah, it sucks they gotta do fill-ins, but hey, they do have somebody great to come in and
Pat
fill in.
will be okay. It sounds
in a
like
couple weeks.
Just,
what a combo to replace Pat McAfee. Corey Graves and Kevin Steen.
and all that.
Oh God, it was so good. And then the best part about it is again, Kevin is just Kevin.
Yeah,
Kevin's just like, oh, you want me to talk to the mic? Yeah, well, no, I've
always said it's weird because Kevin is a guy you can have the title on, take the title off of him. Maybe he doesn't wrestle. You throw him on commentary, and then whenever you want, you throw him right back in the title picture, and it doesn't feel weird.
No, not at all. He was so much fun, but back to this,
right,
folks. There is trouble in paradise.
Oh yeah.
There is going to come a time when 90% of your television is going to be former WWE guys.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, but you, the AEW audience, you are not the smart wrestling fans that are smart to the business. You're smart to what Kenny and the Bucks tell you.
Exactly.
You don't deserve the American Dragon, Bryan Danielson.
No,
you don't even deserve CM Punk.
The only reason the only reason I think he's there is just because he really didn't want to go back to WWE. But
Punk, you mean?
Yeah.
But Bryan, I think would have gone back to WWE for two reasons. One, if they'd let him do a little more of his stuff and just let him do it, and two, if he got to work with Japan.
I think that's really the big thing.
Yeah.
And it's weird because I get a feeling they're going to be able to get that relationship as soon as possible.
Yeah.
Now. But it's in a sense, I would think Vince is kind of pissed because he probably feels like it's too late. So apparently one of the big reasons he hired Nick Khan was to get that relationship.
Yeah.
Because he did not want Daniel to go.
Right.
And Nick's kind of taking a while. well,
but here's the other thing is
getting the partnership with MLW was great because MLW works with New Japan all the time.
Yeah.
Now I know we haven't seen the fruits of that relationship quite yet, but
here's the thing: when you make a deal of that caliber, there's so much backstage stuff you have to work out.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely.
Logistics, that. I mean, a simple "Hey, let's do it" is let's sign on the dotted line. It's going to happen. Now we got to figure it out. Sadly, this is the situation with Barack Obama creating the Affordable Care Act. Was at least a door was open. Now we got to figure out the logistics. Sadly, the Republicans didn't want to do it. That's fact. I don't care what you love politically. That's a fact.
Right.
Not going to argue that.
Right.
But the thing is that no, I think that Nick right now is the best thing that could happen because Nick is centering them on a place where they can find their niche again. I hate to say it, but Nick Khan is going to revamp NXT to be what it's supposed to be. Nick Khan is getting rid of a roster that, let's be honest, they panic signed everyone because of AEW, and the truth is that Nick is the living embodiment of what Vince thinks but won't say publicly. They're not competition. They're not. You look at, and here's the deal. Sure, maybe they're competition because they're getting Punk and Danielson, all this other stuff. But the truth is, when you watch, as Jesse said, the inconsistency, but the consistent inconsistency of their week-to-week show, what does he got to be worried about?
I will say this, though.
Okay.
I will say this, and I don't know what goes on in Vince's mind.
Yeah.
I really don't. Because overall, there's been, a lot of fan anger, mostly because of what happened with people are like, man, Triple H should just take this damn thing over at some point. Because here's where I kind of agree with that point of the fan anger.
Yeah.
They're not competition. That I agree with. But Triple H's approach, what Triple H's approach was going to be of the whole opening the doors is like it's almost like Disney. It's like Disney coming to say if Paramount started floundering, knowing that they're probably not going to be able to compete with Disney Plus and all that. And so we'll work with you. You want to know why? Because now it benefits you, but it benefits me. Here, let me finish.
Yeah.
Because you can't live on your own anymore.
Right.
So let Daddy come help. Let Daddy Mouse come help. Now, if
he is.
Yeah. Oh.
It's one of those.
South Park,
really
play on that yet? No, sir.
Where's my payment, you son of a bitch? But it's one of those things where I actually get where Paul Levesque was coming from. Of like, I would be willing to have that working relationship because they're probably not going to thrive on their own at this point.
No.
But if we worked with them, exchange wrestlers every now and then, rising tides raises all ships. Now a $1 billion company becomes even a bigger $1 billion company.
My only concern is when you really honestly look back at the legacy of NXT. And we'll talk about NXT 36 here a little later in the show. Because boy, what a show.
Oh my god, yes.
But no, it's like if you actually honestly add context to the legacy of NXT. It started out as ECW on Sci-Fi. That pretty much went nowhere. December to Dismember was a big reason why. You talk about
the worst shows anyone's ever seen.
You talk about the game show idea, which was fun for a Wednesday night slot. It was a fun little thing. You got to see some developmental stuff, but in my opinion, and Nick Khan is trying to bring it back to what it was supposed to be. I think while I love what Paul did, it has been clear, and we've talked about it on the show now for about 3 weeks. I think that even Paul lost the vision of what it was supposed to be. Maybe that's ego. Maybe that's the way the world was at the time because the PWG numbers were through the roof. We all know that. But I think that Nick Khan is looking at Raw and SmackDown as the flagships. Because I hate to say it, if you just got rid of Raw or SmackDown, you're getting rid of the top two most longest running shows of all. Sorry, but they have a legacy that will never be matched by anybody. No TV show gets more than 4 seasons. You can't reach those legacies. No. So my point is that Khan is looking at this as that's the establishment. It's a great establishment. It's already built into people's minds, the logos, the names, The Rock, the Stone Colds, all this stuff, that he's trying to focus on that. But it's been proven, and it's not a booking thing as much as people want it to be, that I think that the stars of NXT are not adjusting to the television of Raw and SmackDown. They love the memories of Raw and SmackDown, but they're not living up to the legacies.
You mean you were trying to say they love the memories of NXT, but they can't live up to...
No, I'm actually talking about... No. We know why they got in the business.
Yeah.
Rock, Stone Cold, DX, all this. They love the memories, but don't realize that everyone in that scenario were legends who knew the level that they were on every night. So I feel like when you created this family niche promotion...
By the way, to be fair...
Yeah, go ahead.
Like I tell people, if you actually watched the Attitude Era without the good stories, those shows sucked.
The point is, Jesse, is that by creating this family entertainment level, Paul was not preparing them for what he once prepared himself for, which was 300 days on the road, which was a day where, here's the deal, you got 20 minutes.
Yeah.
That is a gift. And you got 20 minutes because we ain't got nothing else.
Right.
You ain't going to fill that 20 minutes with something that's worth 20 minutes.
Right.
You're going to get 2.5 minutes next time.
Right.
That's how business is.
Right.
My whole thing about this is I think Paul has to garner some blame if he wants NXT to survive in any capacity. He needs to look at the mistakes he made. I could just be shooting blanks here, but I mean, Leroy, my question to you is, NXT, it feels like it's its own thing, but the problem is that if they're just going to go to main roster at some point, doesn't that hurt them?
Well, technically speaking, yeah, it would. I mean, if they're established, they are their own thing, and all of a sudden you pluck, like, Karrion Kross.
Yeah.
Put him over here. You take Rhea, you pull her up, and she was a mainstay. Or anybody that is like holding a belt right now, and you pluck them and put them somewhere else. Yeah, that's going to hurt because everybody was so used to them being on NXT, and now they're somewhere else.
Vince runs his business like a business. Paul was running it like a small niche family. I hate to say it, but if you want to make real money in this business, Vince is the one that's going to pay you the real money.
Here's the thing.
Yep.
And like I said, there's just some parts we're going to continue to disagree on.
Oh, yeah.
I do not think he was running it like a family. I do believe, though, he was running it like it was his own small promotion. So he was still running it like a business.
Yeah.
But, you know, thinking about it in this way. He was training most of those kids.
Yeah.
Sorry. They're grown-ass adults by the time they usually get to WWE at this point. But he was training most of them. Now, it's hard for me to disagree about, like, either they lost the vision or just something between those two just went awry.
Yeah.
Because it started off very smooth. The Shield, Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, Samoa Joe. So,
well, they were also following the FCW model
here's
more
what
so
I'm
than the
saying,
NXT
though.
model.
Because think about it. Roman Reigns is a guy he developed right there in NXT.
100%. Yeah.
That's mostly Paul Levesque's work right there. Dean Ambrose from being, well, he's a much better Jon Moxley now, but back then just the hardcore guy and stuff like that. Triple H made him understand about developing that character into a character. He helped him become a better physical wrestler, and he helped him actually learn how to cut promos. Now, to me, while it gets a little weird, he's still one of the best promos in the business.
Yeah,
and a lot of that has to do with Paul Levesque.
Yeah,
and so it's not like. And by the way, think about if you really think about it, that's literally like. That's 10 years of superstar like guys right there.
Yeah,
that
I
they've
agree.
had. So
I agree.
Bray Wyatt is another guy that, you know, I know recently released, and I know there's some stories now out there about how maybe he rubbed Bruce Pritchard and Vince the wrong way. I don't know. Hopefully the truth will eventually come out.
Yeah.
But it's also one of those deals where, like, I believe that there was just some sort of deep disconnect,
which we'll dive into a little bit later, there, folks. But ladies and gentlemen, Leroy's setting us up there. We're gonna get the mic working up here. Mic is on. Hold on one second here. All right, Jack, are you there?
Yep, right here.
Okay. Can you hear all three of us at this point? Jesse?
Yeah, how's it going, Jack?
Yep.
Hey, Jack, how you doing?
Good?
Yep.
All right, fantastic. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have Jack Ledger on the phone. Jack, how are you on this fine day?
I'm doing beautiful.
Fantastic. So, Jack, we obviously saw for the first time at Bash at the Lift Bridge in a fantastic match.
Exceptional match.
We gave a nice shout out to his opponent for that day, Sterling Bond. What an amazing competitor he was.
Yeah, great guy.
But anyway, so Jack, you want to give the fans a little bit of a backstory on you, where you're from, and how did you get involved in this wonderful yet crazy business?
Okay. My first match I had actually was me and my buddy Riley Jackson and Sterling Bond.
Okay.
And that was like 2016 or something like that.
Okay.
But yeah, so that's pretty cool. But I became a wrestling fan kind of late. Like 2010. I was 10 years old at the time, and I was watching TV one morning, and it was Rocky III documentary on, and I saw Hulk Hogan and thought he was the coolest guy ever. So I was just like, so then we started liking wrestling. We started getting into Andre the Giant, big Big John Studd and King Kong Bundy.
Okay.
And then we started watching Raw and saw like The Miz and Jack Swagger and John Cena at the time. And
Okay.
Nexus.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's how I got into it. And then we found out that there was local wrestling. We went to the shows and waited till I was old enough, started training at them, and yeah, I guess the rest is history right there.
So, obviously, just for the fans who may not know, size is definitely not one of your biggest noticeable traits, but
in the ring and out of the ring.
Yeah, fair enough. But no, I mean, so I guess when you kind of realized you weren't going to be able to do the Hulk Hogan style and probably want to do more of the Japanese style, the American style, but you know, that's a debate for another day. How did you develop what you were going to be in the ring? Where did that come from?
Man, I just watched a lot of Matt Sydal and Seth Rollins and stuff like that, and I was just like, my brother picked up on people like Jack Swagger, people like Hulk Hogan, like the muscle guys. I was this guy who could do a backflip and all that, so I was just like, I'm gonna do more of like Matt Sydal, Seth Rollins, all these people that can do springboards and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And now that I'm getting older and stuff, I was just like, you know, like Seth Rollins is this like guy who can do like a double fuck flip and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And also be able to like power bomb Triple H. And I was like, I kind of want to be more of a, like, be able to pick people up. I want to be able to German somebody who's like 6'5". I want to be able to hit GTSs and stuff like that. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do whatever move I'm able to do. And a lot of the wrestlers didn't like that, but then it's one of those things, like, wrestlers may not like what you do.
Yeah.
But you are you, so you do whatever you want.
Yeah,
so do you.
So I mean, one of the biggest things I want to praise, especially about that ladder match, was just absolutely unbelievable crowd participation that you were able to get out of that. Is that part of your game there, is to really make sure that you're focused on the people watching and not just trying to get your stuff in?
I'm really big on trying to get my stuff in.
Nothing wrong with that.
About that. They're like, Jack's over here trying to get all his moves in. I'm like, you get over then. This is why I sell shirts, man.
Yep.
And I kind of forget about the crowd. It's kind of bad, but like,
I know.
Yeah, like when you're up there, you kind of just you're in your head is in the game. Your head is in the ring.
Yeah.
And it'll get less of like that in like the future.
Yeah.
When like I get more used to it and be able to call it in the ring and stuff like that. But yeah, it was sometimes I just turn to the crowd and then somebody says something. I'll be like, oh, I heard that, or like at the start of a match, my opponent was his name's Nick. He is kind of like Triple H, but Hunter Hearst Helmsley Triple H.
Okay.
And like I got I turned to the crowd and like talked to them, and like he's really good at like getting the crowd involved, and like he I got them to start chanting Triple H and stuff like that. So like it's kind of like that. I'll joke around with the crowd and stuff, but sometimes I'm just like I forget they're there, and then like the match ends, I get to the back, I'm like, damn it, I forgot.
So I guess one thing I was thinking of as you were going through there. So you worked with Riley Jackson all those years ago. Riley's had a very big couple of years here, especially in the local scene. Worked everywhere. So do you have a dream scenario of like where you want to go in the next, I would say, 5 years of your career?
The next 5 years. So my plan is I want to get trained through a wrestling school, and I love the Academy guys. Ken Anderson is just he's a goat. So it's just like, he did so well with people like Devon Monroe, Riley Jackson, Levy Cruz, and it's just I love those guys. Those are my brothers. So like I want to go there, but I also love Cody Rhodes.
Okay.
So I want to go to the Nightmare Factory.
Oh, that'd be cool.
We know a guy down there.
Yeah, I
we got a couple of them
too, and I wrestled another guy too.
Yeah.
And I was like, maybe I should do one of them. I was like, fuck it, do both.
Yeah.
Why not? So that's what I'm kind of planning in the next 5 years. I just need to move to Minnesota, and obviously it's hard to move from your hometown.
Oh, yeah.
Of course.
It's not me being like, I love this place. I actually hate North Dakota. But it's hard.
I've driven.
You know?
Little side note for me, I've driven to North Dakota numerous times for semi-pro football. Minot was one of our longtime opponents out there. It's in the middle of bumfuck nowhere. That's
You think that's in the middle of nowhere? Go to the Four Bears Casino in Newtown. All they have is Subway.
Wow.
Apparently, Ken Shamrock went there for like a kickboxing thing, and I was just like, "Are you kidding me?" He was probably like, "Where am I?"
Well, all right. So you got some lofty goals there. So I mean, do you see the? So I mean, you just kind of see yourself, I guess, getting as much knowledge as possible. Basically, is kind of the idea behind the multiple schools.
Try to be the best me I can be, and try to evolve and learn. And I just had my first main event one-on-one this weekend, and like it's been a long time. Like I've been wrestling for about 4 or 5 years now, and like I finally got my first main event one-on-one and getting like title shots. And I was just so stuck in tag team that like they only gave me like tag matches, tag title shots, tag titles.
Yeah.
And like I just want to go for the singles title. I wanna try to become that. And I'm starting to get a lot of opportunities in Below Zero. Amazing company. They treat me really well, and the same with Puff Mania treats me really well, and MAW. So I'm just starting to get title shots there and main events, and it's just, my career is right now, it's at a really big peak. For a while it was just like slowly escalating.
Yeah.
But now it's skyrocketed up, and I'm feeling really good and very proud of it. So
I'll definitely tell anybody who hears this, listens to this, folks. Look him up. Just type in the name. Go find the matches. Wonderful performer.
He is a great performer. Now, if you don't mind,
go ahead. Yeah.
So, Jack, it's time for me to be the heel interviewer because title matches that you are getting, and you earned in that ladder invitational that we were blessed to see. I believe down there in Stillwater with MAW.
Yes.
In the hell of a match, by the way. Hopefully, your body didn't take too long to heal.
My shoulder hurts still.
It was a pretty damn brutal match.
It was.
But you earned a title shot against. I may or may not be wearing his shirt right now. The Problem, Paul Verk. Now, yeah. For a moment,
can confirm he wore it at his Punk concert last night, and he's definitely wearing it right now. I can confirm that.
So the question is, sir, while you earned that opportunity, and no one can take away that you absolutely earned that opportunity, how do you, sir? How do you believe you're going to be able to take that title off of the tall, the handsome, the beautiful, the champ, Paul Verk, sir?
Wow.
You know, last weekend I did have that title match, and he got disqualified because my brother ran in. So I was about to win it. So there you go.
So not only are you a fan of Mr. Verk over our wonderful guest here, but you're not even following Verk's Burke's running there.
Apparently, I missed that. Yeah, that match was this weekend.
You're so far up his tall, wonderful.
On YouTube and everything now.
Yeah.
So, are you looking then? Are you looking then for a rematch against Mr. Verk?
Oh yeah,
nice transition.
My rematch. Right after we actually had a tag team match, me and my buddy Rampage versus Bobby Brennan and Paul.
Okay.
And, me and Rampage hit double pedigrees, and I pinned Paul 1, 2, 3 on the mat.
Ooh.
We might have to talk to
might
Paul
have
here
to,
very soon.
Oh no.
All right. Well,
keep
the shirt on, Jesse.
I would think in the rules of wrestling then, and Mr. Jack is owed a rematch.
I believe he is.
I totally agree.
Damn, Paul's going to be mad at me.
We'll see it soon.
All right. So, Jack, first of all, thank you so much for this. I understand, your time is very valuable. We appreciate you coming on there, man. So, just for the people out there, where can they find you and, obviously maybe follow a schedule of your upcoming shows?
I suck at Facebook, but you can find me on there.
Okay.
I'm really, I post a lot on Instagram as much as I can. It's Jack_Ledger00.
Okay.
So just look that up. That's the best part. You can reach me, you can find me, you can see what I'm up to. Other than that, if you Facebook message me, I'll probably check it out in like 2 months.
I mean, to be fair, you say that you're bad at that, but let's be honest, Jesse was a week behind on MAW.
I can't believe that match was this weekend. I'm very mad that I missed it.
See, and being good, I knew because I talked to Paul and I go, "Hey, how was that match? Did you lose?" He goes, "No, I'm just gonna." I said, "We're gonna talk to your opponent." You are. I said, yeah. So I laid that seed there a little bit there.
So
Paul's going to be upset with me.
So apparently the only person on this panel right now that actually wants to talk to Jack would be me. So that's.
Talented. And will somehow one day be. I think he'll be MAW champion for sure. As long as. All right.
Keep going.
If you want to connect with Jack, Instagram, that's how I've been communicating with him to get him on the show this week. And yeah, and he has a lot of good stuff on there. I've been watching it all the time.
Yes, he does. Yes, he does.
Yep. So anyway, Jack, just letting you know here. Like I said, thank you so much not only for this, but for the match. We will definitely have you on again when there's more stuff happening. Please send it. Send it to Leroy. Let us know, and we'll definitely keep people updated there for you.
Absolutely.
All right.
Thank you for all this.
Thank you so much. Tell your friends, and we will definitely talk to you soon, sir. Thank you so much.
Perfect. Go on Pro Wrestling Tees. Look at my Pro Wrestling Tees.
Fantastic. All right.
Jack Ledger. They're actually really cool shirts.
Yeah, no, it's fantastic.
I love my Invader Zim shirt. So.
Fantastic. I love the idea. All right. Appreciate you, Jack. Thank you.
That was fun.
Yeah, you still there?
Absolute love it. He was, like I said, we talked for about the last half hour about bigger guys coming back to wrestling.
Yeah.
One of those guys that just look. There's talent.
Oh yeah.
And we saw that.
Oh yeah.
We definitely were able to. Fantastic match. Again, like he said, it's on YouTube.
Yeah.
Jesse, just make sure you're up to date when we have a guest.
I can't believe I had such a busy weekend. I must have forgot.
You did. And also, if we had, if Leroy had told you about it during the DPW show, we wouldn't have known because we had so much shit going on. Jesse was not only doing sound, but he was like head of security.
Yeah.
I was lurking in the background, making sure the ring was still up.
Yeah.
I remember Darren Corbin being like, "Wasn't there a ladder match?" I'm like, "Thanks for reminding me of that," because I wasn't freaking out during the ladder match or anything.
It was a little frightening to do, like, they're gonna be okay. Is the ring gonna be?
Oh God. But no. Actually, no. Jack was great. And honestly, I love a guy who just sits there and he's honest about the fact that he wanted to try a singles run.
Oh yeah.
It's really funny. I don't know if I think we've mentioned on the show before that two things have happened recently in wrestling that Vince has actually gotten a lot less heat for because the truth came out.
Yeah.
The Keith Lee situation, and then the Iconics got broken up because Peyton Royce ultimately wanted to try a singles run.
Yeah.
So that was not Vince's decision to break up the Iconics. Vince did not keep Keith Lee. Now, again, people might be wondering why they didn't just say Keith was sick, but at the same time, it's really hard to talk about medical stuff
and
during.
Be honest, I think he. I think he did a good job of
covering everything,
just making sure because Keith wanted to tell his story on his own time, and I'm
sure somebody in WWE was clear with him that look, we're not saying no, but let's let it breathe a little bit. Let's everything kind of relax.
I think it's one of those things. They probably didn't even ask him to come back until he was sure he was all right.
By the way, yeah, go ahead.
Oh, it's funny. I was talking to Jack a little bit, thanking him everything, and he tells us we're going to have possibly a little hint for next week that people should watch just because we had Jack this week.
Yeah.
We're going to have Darren on next week, and he wanted me to say, "Hey, Darren," from Jack. Okay. He knows Darren. He respects Darren a lot and everything, and had many good things to say. He's not a very good fan, not a fan of the Gingers. Darren outside of the ring.
Darren is nothing if not a bleeder and a slappable face.
Unfortunately, when he was a Scott Steiner, as you saw in there, he got punched.
Well,
he suffered.
It was bad.
He suffered as well.
Yes, such an interesting transition, ladies and gentlemen, from Mr. Darren Corbin to his brother finally getting some luck on the Vegas Strip, and then losing it, and then getting it back, and losing it again, and getting it back. Anyway,
it's been a whirlwind week for
Happy Corbin.
Yes.
Oh, is that what we're all calling him now?
That's what they announced him as.
That's
what they announced him as. Was Happy Corbin.
I mean, you can make money, but you can sometimes still be a bum-ass dude.
Can I just say that the fact that that is how wrestling should have used social media from the get-go.
Yes.
Kayfabe.
Yes.
Fun stuff. Interesting stories. But, by the way, quick note for the two of you since we were talking about the local stuff. We were talking about the match. Jesse and I were talking about him forgetting about the Paul Vert thing. If you had told him at DPW, we wouldn't remember. We were all so busy. Eric did tell me, and this was private message, but I think that I can say this. He watched our timestamp, or listen to it with his mother, mind you.
Oh, that's great.
Oh my God.
She teared up a little bit
awesome.
listening to it. And you know what? I'll say it again. Whether Eric hears this one or not, I'll say it again. That is a parent, ladies and gentlemen, that everyone should strive to be like. It would have been so easy for her to just be like, dreams are fine, but reality has to set in. She let him be him, and he put out. It was interesting. He keeps asking, and I'm sure you guys have gotten a message or two since the show. Mm-hmm. He keeps asking, "What did you think of the show? Did you like it? This, that?" And I finally messaged him after about the third time he sent it to me. I was like, "You really don't understand what you did that night, do you? You really don't get what you accomplished, do you?" But
and this is why we tell you to go support your local promotions as well, because I think sometimes those local owners and they work their asses off. I mean, I know you guys talk about Dave a lot from MAW.
Oh, yeah.
He's a guy who works his ass off to make that promotion work.
And
Heavy on Wrestling still get a lot of credit. First Wrestling does a lot of great things. Here in Minnesota.
Yeah,
but it's one of those things I tell people to go, and because it's nice. Especially if you're a first-time goer, and they ask you, and you just give your genuine reaction, man. And I've been to shows and given a genuine reaction, either like in Texas to a small show, or once in Kansas, where I'm just like, no, dude, genuinely. While I don't know who any of these wrestlers are, I love this show, and they most of the time are like Eric, where they're like, "Are you sure?" They're so uncertain.
They have no confidence in themselves whatsoever.
Well, I say when I met his mom, she felt a little bit like my mom. The way my mom
she was
is.
more thankful that we were there than the actual wrestlers, and that's no offense to talent, but
and it's like, and Dave is a promoter. I mean, he's so busy, but he didn't forget about us. I mean, that is the one thing that I love about that guy.
Yep.
He's like, you guys are family. We're not going to free.
And by the way, folks, this might seem a little bit off character, but I also encourage you to go watch All Elite Wrestling, Dark Elevation, Rampage, all the shows. Now, now, here's the deal. You might turn into us, where 2 years we're just so hard. I don't care. We want wrestling out there. Yes. Please go find NWA. Also, by the way, we missed this a couple things with Jack, but the promotions he's also been with in the Midwest: American Federation, Cloud9, Magnum Pro, Midwest Elite, MAW, and Fully Loaded. Please go support those companies online, if just definitely. On Facebook. They love it, and they love putting the things out for people.
And I should have brought it up while he was here with Fully Loaded. They actually, I believe, update their shows every couple of weeks on YouTube.
Yes.
So if you subscribe to their YouTube, you can actually watch the shows that they put out.
And he said he enjoyed the time, and he said, "Hey,
I told him back.
I told him anytime you want to promote something, I said, get a hold of me, and we'll get you on as soon as possible."
We are nothing if not selfless promoters.
We are an open book, baby.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
So, Leroy, before we get to something very important, you have a special thing for us today. What do you have for this day in wrestling history today?
Well,
you only have one thing, but boy, is it a big one.
They had a lot of SummerSlam stuff. It's not good, but we gotta give a shout out.
Is this the one about The Miz losing his Intercontinental Championship?
Nah, not worried about that crap.
Okay.
This is something better.
We can't have two Miz segments. We got one coming up here.
Oh, do we?
Yeah, we do.
We shouldn't have two.
No.
Number 3 on the list.
Okay. Yeah, because I was going to say, if we had more than one Miz segment, I was going to have to walk away like this is Raw.
That's fair. That's fair.
I put them out there so you can read to see what we're doing.
My bad. I see his name, and I have check out.
Okay, all right.
But anyway, Leroy, you were saying.
We want to say a lovely happy birthday, 72 years, to Stan Hansen.
Sorry. It's Stan the Man Hansen.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Ladies and gentlemen, he's not the inventor, but maybe the ultimate innovator of the lariat.
Yes.
It hurt to watch.
Dude.
It hurts to watch the aftermath.
Oh, my God.
I want to point something out. Ain't nobody in this business ever had to, quote, sell a lariat from Stan Hansen.
No.
You were hurt.
He clocked your damn stuff off.
Jesse, this is also helpful for you. You are our guy. Stan had a, not even slightly, but very successful career.
Insanely successful in Japan.
In the land of the rising sun.
Yes. So Stan, which is why I said Stan the Man Hansen. He had some of the best rivalries with probably... If you know the legendary ones in Japan, man, I'm about to go through a list. I will always tell people this because you actually don't need New Japan Pro Wrestling. They actually put all of his stuff out on his birthday for free on YouTube.
Oh, fantastic!
So you can go to New Japan on YouTube, guys. Watch all of his classic matches, man.
I don't think people realize we talk about how they've treated. Westerners coming in, how they've treated Gaijins. It's been rough, but back in the old days when they were bringing in the star Gaijins, they were gods over there.
Yeah.
I mean, people forget Vader was the Triple Crown champion over there.
I was about to say Vader was one of the first to have the big 3 belts.
Yep.
He also was Triple Crown winner in All Japan, I believe, as well.
All right,
he was the Triple Crown heavyweight champion over there.
Yep.
4 times, and he held a tag team with Bruiser Brody, Ted DiBiase, and Austin Idol.
Yes, sir.
People forget back before the internet, and this is another thing where I'll defend Vince, and I know I've done that a lot, but this is truth. Back then, you could have an injury angle. And then Vince could send a guy to Japan for a month, and no one knew about it.
Yeah.
So, but nowadays it's so much harder to do that when if there's an injury angle, they literally just have to sit in catering. You can't send them to go. Vince used to work with these places, but I think social media became so much harder to keep the story going because it is entertainment, regardless of how anyone wants to feel about it. But no, I mean people forget the Japan circuit used to be almost a highlight of the WWE Hall of Fame.
It's really weird that the story will come out about why there was a break. I think in like 2000 between Vince and Japan.
Probably just
it's some sort of. It was definitely probably some sort of business. Disagreement.
I don't think Inoki and Vince have anything personal against each other.
I mean, listen, Inoki was able to come over here and become a legend because Vince was like, "Listen, I agree with all your bosses over there. You are a star." Yeah. And there's so much we can do with you here.
I found an interesting fact.
One,
he was inducted. Well, he was inducted into WWE Hall of Fame in 2016.
Yeah, of course.
He has a filmology. He actually was in No Holds Barred in 1989.
Yes, he was
as a Neanderthal. I didn't really. I wasn't paying close enough attention.
Yep.
I'm very sorry, Stan.
Just hope he doesn't clothesline you because them arms are still big at 72.
You two have looked horrible on today's show.
No.
You two are not having a good show.
It's been an off week.
Okay, that was one slip. I was talking to Paul about his opponent who
but you still had your one slip, is all I'm saying.
Hey,
anyway,
sorry,
I've had a few today.
That's fair.
And not drinks.
Jesse is constantly traveling for music and other things.
Oh, yeah.
So not exactly a slow schedule for you.
I was gonna say I'm always going, but I love doing all this. I really do.
All right.
Oh my God, yes.
But yes, Stan was a mainstay in Japan in an era where gaijins were treated as gods.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not saying they treat gaijins bad these days. I just don't think, because the one thing New Japan will always believe in is that when you're a star, you're a star. And I hate to say it, but I don't think Jay was the star yet.
No, he had to come and train because he was. I mean, if you want to talk about like wet behind the ears in wrestling when he
he became the champ, but
still even.
But they like to see guys make themselves before the belt.
Yeah,
they like to see guys make themselves without the belt.
John Moxley is one of those guys who will always be an exception to the rule. But he, even to give him a ton of credit, even he was like, "No, I'm going to dress down, and I'm going to help them set up the ring." Like he went in there with a ton of respect.
Yeah,
and so they've treated him like the star that he is.
Yes.
So it's like I said, it's one of, and also remember had two of the, I was going to say the baby boys. That's not what they're called.
Yeah.
The young lions. Who are now on excursion, one who just debuted in AAA, and the other who just debuted in the returning British Pro Wrestling, I think, and XNX.
Okay.
And he's done a lot of that for them too. So, but yeah, in the past, if you're one of those guys, which is why they opened the LA Dojo, they're just like, hey, well, come train. And then we'll make sure you know how to work our style. It's a physical style.
Yeah.
You got to be able to take it.
Yeah.
Because, our guys can wrestle till they're 60, 70, as you can see with Minoru Suzuki.
Well, we'll talk about that a little bit later when we get to what I believe is the most...
Oh, no, I'm just kind of relating it back to Stan here. Yeah. Because, back then they just went
but you also have to remember, Stan worked a physical style, but it was never really a dangerous style.
No.
If you were going to get hurt, it was just a happy accident of what was happening. It wasn't you were trying to do 30 different things in the air at the same time.
No.
But anyway.
I like happy accidents, but not in the wrestling ring.
Fair enough. So now it's time to get to Leroy. Ladies and gentlemen, this week, I know it's been a full week since the show, or 2 weeks now, but we got to talk about NXT 36 TakeOver because, my God.
I finally got the chance to watch it. Wow.
Leroy, you have the matches listed out for us.
Yep.
What was our first match at the end of an era, which we'll talk about towards the end?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they had a pre-match with Ridge Holland and with Pete Dunne.
Ridge is going to end up on Raw or SmackDown very quickly.
That was a simple...
Ridge is just...
That is a squash match.
Yeah.
If I've ever seen one.
A minute and 45 seconds.
That's all it needed to be with Rich.
Trey tried to come out and get the knees, and then Rich whooped that ass.
Yeah.
All right. First match of the night was for the $1 Million Championship and a special stipulation with that.
Yes.
If Cameron Grimes lost, Ted DiBiase would become LA Knight's butler. Well, thank God he did not become a butler.
Call me crazy.
Oh my God, it was a good match.
For a match, because later on...
Before you finish,
go ahead.
Damn, that man can still lock in a Cobra Clutch.
Holy crap. Like, picture perfect.
I'm like, damn, he can still do this perfectly.
Oh, yeah, I'm so happy about that.
That was obviously multiple gimmicks.
Yeah.
This was worked the best match of the night gimmick-wise.
Oh, yeah.
This was worked. Everybody was who they should have been. Nobody broke character. Nobody got away from what the story... Again, this is why I defend this level of entertainment, because Vince will look at that and say everybody... Well, obviously Ted was going to do great because Ted's playing, who's been playing for 40 years. But Vince is going to look at that match and say both guys did what they were supposed to. They told the story. They got in. They got out. They never lost the crowd one time.
No.
And, no, this is a match I think Vincent Kennedy McMahon would look at and say, I can use both those guys.
I gotta say, if either one of them watched that match, and listen, they don't. If they're gonna use LA Knight, you don't have long because he's getting very close to 40.
Yeah.
But Cameron Grimes is formerly Trevor Lee.
Yeah.
By the way, I'm sure Scott is looking and going, shit. How did we allow that guy to walk out the door?
How do we allow him to only be a caveman?
Yeah.
With he didn't need a manager.
Trevor Lee was amazing, and now everyone gets to see him as Cameron Grimes and how amazing he is.
I did like how they continued on a Wednesday, and he I don't need this belt, and then DiBiase gave him the belt, and he flipped it.
It was a replica.
It was a replica of the belt.
Ladies and gentlemen, never trust a rattlesnake, never trust a viper, never trust the $1 Million Man. Because here's the deal: everyone's got a price, but sometimes you don't want to pay it. Anyway, what did we have next?
The next was the NXT Women's Championship with Raquel Gonzalez defeating Dakota Kai by pinfall.
I think she's getting called up. So she's been working some dark matches.
Dakota? Well, yeah.
So
is Raquel not a star though?
Raquel is a star.
Wonderful. Oh my God, I love it.
But if because
Dakota can add to either division.
Yeah. Well, because to me, when I look at her, when Candice is done being pregnant, she's in this weird bubble. There's if she doesn't win the women's championship, and then if she's not going to an NXT, she can't stay there.
No.
There's nothing left for her to do.
Right.
She has now helped a lot of the young wrestlers come up. Io, now Indy.
Yes.
Like, she did what she was supposed to do.
I'm not saying Dakota deserves to be called up because it's a, quote, Lifetime Achievement Award for all that she's done for NXT. She legitimately makes everybody better.
She's very good.
I'm not saying Dakota can't carry a belt, but Dakota is definitely one of those rare talents where it's just like, oh, you work with anyone.
Yeah.
You legitimately just work with literally anyone we give you. Absolutely phenomenal.
I loved her work with Raquel.
Oh,
I mean,
great.
that was phenomenal.
Also, by the way, I want to point something out. The night that this match got set up, when Raquel turned, you didn't see it till she started running. Don't even lie to me.
I knew it would happen eventually.
Well, yeah, no, we all know it was eventually, but let's be honest. That night, until Dakota started running to the corner with that boot, we didn't think that was the night they were going to do it.
I got to be honest, I didn't think that was the night, no.
Nobody thought it. Wonderful
I thought it might come near the end of the year, but I didn't think now.
Yeah. Wonderful.
All right,
All right.
Can't help but praise that whole
that was well done.
This next match.
Yes.
Holy shit.
Yes.
That's all I can say about it. The NXT United.
Leroy,
are we going to wait on that one?
Stop, Leroy.
Okay.
I told you earlier.
Okay, I'm sorry.
When we talk about NXT, we have to talk about the night in the correct order. So when the main event comes, we're going to talk about the main event.
Hey, wait a minute. No.
Leroy.
It's in order.
You know what he said.
Leroy.
We'll wait on
Leroy.
All right.
If we're going to talk about the main event, it deserves to be given its proper due.
I kind of caught on it first. I'm like, I get it.
If you would please, what was the actual next match?
That wasn't the next match.
Leroy.
After that match.
After that one?
What was the next match ultimately?
Okay. All right. Well, we had the 2 out of 3 falls with Tyler Wright.
Thank you.
All right.
Can't just throw the main event in the middle of the show. What's wrong with you?
Data were weird.
What kind of booker are you?
I apologize
all right.
to everybody.
Anyway,
so I don't know if I want to apologize.
in 5 years. So,
fuck that. Apologize, friend. All I apologize is like, sorry, I laughed at you because you fell.
This next match is a tale of two eras for me.
Oh, for sure.
Totally. And I want to explain why. The first fall, which we all knew was Kyle's choice,
the traditional wrestling match.
And by the way, I do like that they gave each guy their victory. Yeah. Because remember, in the lead up, each guy won the other guy's match. But anyway, no. So here's the tale of two matches. Or tale of two eras is what I was going at. Number one, this match, although kind of rushed, was the reasoning as to why WWE signed half of ROH back when they did. This is the prime example of what that style of wrestling that was popular at the time brought the world by storm.
Yeah.
This match was about as good as you could get for what they were trying to do. And it also proves to me that Kyle O'Reilly just needs a little more polishing on the gimmicky stuff, but he can go with anybody.
Oh, definitely. I mean, yeah.
Kyle had a great performance.
First of all, he won traditional. Yep. Adam Cole, the street fight.
Now
won that, and then the steel cage picked by Regal.
Now, hold on. Before we get to the third fall, because that... Okay, so the first era was what I mentioned, and I'll let you guys give your stuff in this match, but let me get out my two era thing before we get on.
Go for it.
This next one, I found myself a little taken back. And not necessarily in a nostalgic way, but I sort of got removed a little bit from this match. And oddly enough, I didn't know what I was thinking until I listened to Jim's review of it. And I hate to say it, I'm not just doing this to promote Jim. What I felt watching it this morning was exactly what Jim said. This is the kind of match that sort of diluted the wrestling business. That sort of diluted the fans into becoming what AEW now is. PWG had their version of this, but Jesse, PWG still was able to put on a show that was very, very well done in all aspects of what they did. But my point is that they did too much in too little of a short a time. It was too many toys. It was too many gimmicky stuff. It was too much stuff that was cooperative. It's like, you don't have to be a smart fan to sit there and look at yourself and say, okay, not even highly trained athletes are getting up from a lot of this stuff. I think they went a little too far, especially considering they ultimately follow what I said was the main event. Okay, we'll get off the joke thing we did, but obviously there's a reason we want to get to that. But this match, to me, the second 2/3, it just kind of reminded me why wrestling has sort of been purged of a lot of the quote-unquote athleticism. It relies too much on toys. It relies too much on the cooperation, and you don't even have to be a smart fan to kind of notice it. So maybe this is why the casual audience hasn't come back the way that we once thought, and this is why maybe the hardcore wrestling fan is no longer a fan of what Vince is trying to do on Raw, is because I think it just didn't feel right to me, because I feel like they just tried to do too much. And the sad part about it is it wasn't two guys trying to get over. It's two guys that are already over. You could have just wrestled with a chair for the entirety of the street fight and probably had a better match. The chains were a bit much. There was just weight. I found myself, even before I listened to Jim's, because Jim's review didn't even get put up, I think, until this morning.
Okay.
Because it was the drive-thru.
Okay.
So for me, I found the words through Jim, but the feeling was there watching that this is kind of what I think a lot of the older guard is talking about, that regardless of what you want to believe, it's a better era, more athletic era, blah, 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 not enough people are watching anymore as they once did. And this match was kind of a thing with it. And remember, we talked about it. The Sheik had one of the most successful wrestling territories ever.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And it was incredibly successful, rich beyond belief, but he did a little too much of the hardcore stuff, and he kind of ran off his audience. It was the wrong part of the country to do that. Yeah. South Philly was the prime place. But it's just, this was them, sadly, trying to catch ECW lightning in a bottle, and no one's ever going to capture that again.
No, it's going to be very difficult.
Yeah, I was not too keen on the chains, because both of them had the chains, and I'm like, Okay.
It was also the worst hockey fight I've ever seen.
And they hit each other,
and I'm insulted as someone from Minnesota.
Yeah, I know.
Jesse, you'd be insulted as a former Rangers fan. You've had some nice enforcers in your day over there.
Oh, sure.
But
yeah.
but anyway, go ahead.
But yeah, no, it's like the chains. I'm like, one person have the change, get a hit, and then they, sell that hit instead of both hitting with the chain, and it wasn't really doing that much.
Right.
I was like, okay, yeah. There's a few ones in that first match. That
the last
second
2/3,
one,
I think, was one of the odd. I don't want to say worst because I've seen some bad usages of these guys, but this was one of the oddest.
I've seen bad steel cage matches, so definitely not the worst.
This was one of the oddest uses of two top tier talented guys I've ever seen, and that's just how I feel. I'm not doing this for content. I'm not doing this for the show. I'm not doing this to prove that I'll rag on NXT just like AEW. No, I legitimately was very confused at the last 2/3 of this.
Let me tell you what happened here.
Okay. Yeah.
So this is going to shock you. To me, this was the worst. As far as the card was, the worst thing on the card. I'll say it.
Okay.
Clearly, Adam Cole didn't want to get hurt.
Yeah.
Clearly.
Yeah.
Didn't want to take an injury.
Yep.
Whether negotiating, whatever
going
he's
to
doing,
AEW,
he's
whatever,
doing.
Yeah, exactly.
He clearly did not want to get
Which by the way, let's get this out of the way. What I want out of this, regardless of where he goes, I want Adam to get paid.
Exactly.
I totally agree with that.
Absolutely.
I want Adam to get paid for this.
So
I don't care where he goes.
Because here's my deal.
But Jim did say, if he does leave, the best of Adam Cole may be behind him.
It's possible.
But anyway, go ahead.
Unfortunately, yes.
But I will say this.
Okay.
If this would have just been one more regular match, they probably would have just put on one of those NXT classics.
If this just would have been a straight cage match, in my opinion.
They probably would have put on
worked.
a pure classic. But when they got to the street fight, first of all, by the way, I could tell who was going to take the heavier bumps starting in the regular match. It was going to be Kyle O'Reilly.
Yes.
Adam Cole probably clearly told him, I'm not taking anything too heavy tonight.
Yeah.
Which Paul probably respected, and that's fine.
Yeah. That's business.
Oh, yeah.
So, one, clearly he didn't want to take any major bumps.
Yeah.
Two, it's cute. I believe, I don't know if they're engaged, but I know they're dating, because he used Britt Baker's
Lockjaw.
Yeah.
Did not fit the story.
No.
So, that's when I was just like, I don't know what's going on here. I'm like, this is not a guy going rogue because I don't
think Adam knows what he's doing right now, and I truly believe that. I think the Bucks teased what they teased just because they're just trying to get him paid or they're trying to get him whatever.
Zach, can I bring that up just for 1 second?
Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Me and you love each other. We give each other crap.
Yep.
And sometimes, as Leroy, I'm just like, oh, he's my worst asshole friend. But I usually say that jokingly.
Proud of it.
But, I love both of you dearly. And, as much crap as we give each other, we'll still hang out.
Oh, yeah.
We still hang out with Leroy,
Yeah.
I don't know how anyone can be a fan of the Young Bucks and a friend of the Young Bucks. And let me explain why. His contract wasn't even up yet. And you put that stupid freaking tweet out there. So now, while this guy's trying to get money from either WWE or AEW or hell, maybe Impact, because apparently he did go down there.
Yeah.
Why would you?
He would do well in Scott D'Amore.
Yeah, for sure.
Yes,
why would you hurt your friend? But we're gonna do a renaissance and bring him back and blah blah blah. Shut the hell up.
Yeah.
Can you let the man make his own damn decision? Like, shut up.
If Britt had done that, I wouldn't have cared. That's a spouse.
And all she said was she was proud of her boyfriend.
Yes.
And that's fine.
Yes.
Yes.
They love each other. And she's great.
Oh, yeah.
She's
Fantastic.
great.
Yeah.
By the way, AEW fans.
Once they leave her alone, then she does her own shit.
I was going to say, AEW fans, don't tell me that WWE fans also cheer the heel too much. All you guys do is cheer Britt Baker, and she's clearly the heel.
Yeah.
I just want to get that out the way.
Yeah. And she's trying. That's the
she really is trying to get booed.
I feel bad. Now, here's the deal. Taking your moment in your hometown, I got no issue with.
Problem.
No problem.
Problem.
Vince normally has you lose in your hometown. But the point is...
I do, I really don't remember anybody winning.
Yeah, exactly.
Vince will usually let you lose in your hometown.
But the point is that, Jesse, continue.
So, because here's the thing. Like I said, he clearly didn't want to get hurt.
Yeah.
So the especially like you said, the last 2/3 of this match, and I'm just like, I'm done. I was just like, okay, I want to get through it mentally because we kind of already had the main event, but we're gonna get the co-main event and the main event.
Yeah,
and I know this match is gonna be excellent.
Yeah.
Because this man is trying to negotiate probably what might be his last pro wrestling contract.
Adam Cole's no spring chicken.
The guy's 36.
Yeah.
And with everything he's been through, he's not making it to AJ's age of wrestling.
No.
He's just not.
No.
So
because if you realize, if you watch the evolution of AJ Styles, and someday, whether it's WWE, whether it's Impact, whether it's Jarrett coming back to do it or finding the way to do it, whether Scott finds a connection with people he knows with.
I promise you, Vince or WWE will find a way to make those connections work.
There needs to be a properly done documentary of somebody who did what he had to do in the asylum to get noticed, but then came to a company that's not known for that and adapted where he's still himself, but found a way to get over in the way that The Office liked. In every place he was. And by the way, Jesse can help me. Can help this. I don't think people realize how hard it really is to walk into a set stable of New Japan and just become the guy. The difficulty level of becoming leader of the Bullet Club.
What AJ did to walk in, whoop Finn Balor's ass on his way out, and it was just accepted that he was the new leader of Bullet Club. They've never been able to duplicate. Remember, because for people who don't remember, Kenny they try to bring up through the junior ranks and to a guy who was just like, no.
Well, they added him because Bullet Club wanted
a junior champion.
They wanted an almighty presence.
Yeah, and so people were like, well, Jay White. I'm like, no. Jay White basically earned his way to be the leader.
Yes,
because he was just a guy that they were just like, listen, all he does is win. All he does is help us win. Like, this is our guy. Gato was like, this is our guy.
And as you've told us, GOD has basically made it clear they don't want to be the leader of the Bullet Club. That's not really their.
They let Jay do that.
Yes.
But I mean, we know who built it from the ground up.
Oh no.
They let Jay kind of be the de facto leader.
And obviously, Bad Luck Fale is not to be disrespectful. He's the fall in line.
Oh yeah.
Basically.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But what AJ did, because people forget.
Yeah.
Originally, when he left TNA, because he was on the indie scene for a while.
Yes.
And then he was able to come into something like New Japan, and it was just like, oh yeah, AJ Styles is actually pretty fucking excellent.
Yeah. That's a nice way of putting it.
There's no, phenomenal excellence, And then these two idiots go onto Twitter as Adam Cole is trying to make the most money possible, which is why, to me, I don't think this match worked for really anybody. People still enjoyed it, but it just didn't work. And you have to open your mouths. Shut the hell up.
I think people don't realize. Some people thought that it was them either teasing he's coming or it was them teasing he's coming so Vince will pay him more. No, this actually could have hurt you. Because here's the deal, folks. What's been proven is that Vince is not going to overpay when he's seen the product down there. And the problem is, and nothing against Adam, but the problem is that Adam is more willing to do the elite style of things than I think Punk or Bryan would be.
Oh, yeah.
So while I think Punk and Bryan will have that backbone of like, we're bigger than all y'all combined. We don't give a shit.
Right, yeah.
While I think they're going to have a little more creative control over the EVPs, control. Adam will kind of just fall in line with his buddies.
Yeah.
So I think that Vince is not going to overpay if you're not all in. No pun intended.
So overall,
he has no reason to at this point.
Exactly. So overall, before you go on to the first of two championship matches,
yes.
I'll say it was the worst match on the card. It just was. Because, like I said, I can sense a guy who is trying to protect himself so he can get the most money possible. Which, by the way...
All four.
Unlike, by the way, because Kevin Nash had no business criticizing that. Kevin, you shut the hell up.
Yeah.
I'm sick of that 7-foot dude. You could beat him up now with them bad knees he got. Leroy, you could totally take Kevin Nash.
One drop kick to those knees.
He's done.
He's done.
Oh,
No, I'm not going to do a drop kick because that would hurt me. I'm going to use a chair.
There you go.
Do the chop block.
There you go. Do the chop block.
You'll be fine.
But yeah, it's one of those things like clearly a guy who's trying to protect himself, but put over his friend one more time as well. I respect what Adam tried to do.
Willing to do the job on the way.
It's like I enjoyed it. The way they ended it, that last pin submission, that was interesting. Very interesting.
I also think that if this match had gone on before the last two, might have helped.
It might have helped.
Yeah,
and we'll explain why in two segments. But segment, Leroy.
Yes. Well, we had the NXT Championship, Samoa Joe carrying Cross.
Joe looked tired, but I got to give Joe credit. He looked tired. He looked not ready for the moment.
Sure.
But damn it, if he didn't give everything he had to make sure that it came out the way it should have.
Yeah.
I will say this. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Yeah, no, it's a good win for Samoa there.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I was going to say, so what I saw when I watched, first of all, good match. Overall.
No.
Overall, still a good match.
Not an NXT style match, but a great match overall.
Joe can't do that anymore. But I will say this. Clearly they understood with the rebranding and whatever's going on down there.
Joe's the guy to go forward.
Joe's the right guy because Joe can work with any of those young guys, make them look good whenever they win the championship, however they do it.
And when was the last time he had a match? I mean, it's been
almost 2 years.
It's been almost 2 years.
Yeah.
Jeez,
almost like 2019.
I think it was February 2020 was the last official.
Was it
match.
February?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought it was like November of 2019 or something.
It was a long time.
It's been a while, so I understand if we're going to be a little.
But the thing about it is that it's interesting because I just thought of this live. This is, if you go back and watch Joe. Now, Joe's a constant professional. Joe was able to pull it out because it was a slower style match. This is what Becky might have looked like if she tried to have a 20-minute match with Bianca.
Probably.
And I think that's another feather in the cap of let's wait on that. Because by the way, Becky and Bianca came out, and in my opinion, she cleared everything up.
Yes.
Bianca proved to me she can come back from it. Yes. I am actually excited, and I actually am saying to myself, okay, Bianca didn't come out defeated.
No.
Bianca came out with that swagger. She came out with that absolute fire. She came out like somebody who was ready to get right back on the horse. Fabulous job by her.
By the way, you could tell they're working on the Becky heel turn because you know what she did? She denied her the rematch. A babyface would have accepted that rematch.
That is
true. But anyway, back to this. It's just
Karrion Kross has a chance to be a megastar.
He does.
What they need to stop doing. I just want to get this out there real quick.
Yeah.
So on Raw,
I think we all feel this way.
24 hours later, after he has a really good match with Samoa Joe, what the fuck was that mask? Why is he a S&M worker? By the way, if you're a sex worker, I respect you.
Yeah, no, I get
it. It is work. But he's a professional wrestler.
Yeah.
He should not come out looking like he wants to dominate your butt cheeks. You're destroying this man's character. Like what? This is where I get mad at Vince and them sometimes. The buck does stop with him creative-wise.
Yeah.
Vince, it's funny, but it destroys a guy that could be your next superstar.
I honestly think they got so much backlash for it. Watch it be something different.
He'll probably come out normally this week.
Yeah, I thought of Mad Max.
Because remember
that too.
Well, because
Mad Max. It was
a bad knockoff version of Mad Max.
Well, because remember, Vince does watch that social media, and if it's a big enough issue, they'll change it.
I still want him to bring Scarlett back. I hope eventually.
So somebody was saying like that's a part of this story right now with him is that he won't win a lot because he doesn't have her right now.
Yeah.
But when he does, then he'll start dominating again, which is fine. It's just been inconsistent.
Yeah.
Which is my biggest problem with the Raw's writing.
And
I think overall that is clearly Bruce Pritchard.
Yes.
Oh my God! And we'll maybe next week or 2 weeks from now we will get into why I think that man needs to go.
Yeah.
But because he
clearly did not get the Dr. Tom Pritchard gene,
and clearly is becoming very Vince.
They were related, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Tom and Bruce are family, right? Tom Pritchard and Bruce Pritchard.
I believe so.
Yeah. Okay, you look that up. Go ahead, Justin.
But otherwise, very very good match.
Yeah.
They got to do better with Karrion on the main roster.
Yeah.
Because putting him looking like he's going to come out and dominate your butt cheeks while there's children in the crowd is not a good way to promote someone you want to be world heavyweight champion in a year.
Yeah.
with that said, I don't know if you found it yet, but let's go ahead and get to the actual.
Well, all right. We'll get to
main event, and then I guess
I'll look that up.
Yeah.
And we'll
ladies and gentlemen, before Leroy even gets to it,
okay. I do agree with that. I should have had that hooked up.
Before we even get to this match, before Leroy even talks about what it was,
yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is a moment in time where Jim Cornette gets all the love and he deserves it. This is what wrestling could have been, should have been, and even an NXT crowd stood up and applauded. Leroy, quick, did you find it?
Well, I found Bruce Pritchard.
I believe it's kind of hard to have the same name in wrestling unless it was given to you gimmick-wise.
Birth name Thomas, Bruce, and the other one, he has siblings.
Dr. Tom Pritchard was obviously the one FCW.
Yeah. Correct.
But anyway,
Bruce and Chris Pritchard is his siblings.
Okay, anyway, Leroy, if you would please set this up, because I got time today to go over this one. I got time. Leroy, if you would please.
Well, we have a match for the NXT United Kingdom Championship.
And I'm glad you said United Kingdom, because that's going to be very important here.
Yeah.
It is. This is the second time we have seen these guys.
Yes.
You know, Mr. Dragunov and Walter.
Ilya Dragunov versus Walter. The ring general versus
the Tsar.
He was not the Tsar yet.
But he is now.
He is now. Long live the Tsar. Ladies and gentlemen.
22-minute match.
Ladies and gentlemen, let me make this very clear.
Damn.
These two guys.
I don't think it could have went longer because they might have died.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen.
I do agree with that one, yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, I want to get this out of the way right now because Jesse won't be prepared for this statement yet. This is the second match they've had, correct?
This is the second.
This felt nothing like the first one.
No, it didn't.
It actually felt like we waited 17 years for this. Ladies and gentlemen, if you did not like this match, I can't help you. Stop listening to my show. Stop listening to these two gentlemen. If you didn't like this, you cannot be helped. Because
stop listening this week, but come back next week.
No.
No?
I can't help you.
Oh, okay, all right.
I can't help you.
Find professional help.
If you didn't like this, this was stiff as balls, but my God, did it feel like the most loose thing I'd ever seen.
They beat the hell out of each other. Oh my God,
folks, I get it, and someone needs to contact Jim and let him know that I don't think Jim and Brian realize Walter isn't in the main event of WrestleMania because he doesn't want to live in America. So there's that.
Correct.
But here's the deal, folks. God damn, if Ilya Dragunov doesn't have those kind of home ties, move the family here, we'll give you a nice house. He could go to the main event of WrestleMania as a babyface and be the biggest motherfucker in this company.
So I want to bring up some history real quick.
If you would, please. Right.
So a couple of years ago, of course, they did NXT versus Raw versus SmackDown.
Yeah.
And people forget there was a NXT championship match on there.
Yeah.
And people also forget there was also an NXT UK match on the pre-card.
Yes.
And people forgot how much of a reaction that match got.
Yes.
I keep telling you guys, British-style pro wrestling works in America. You want to know why? Because people love to see dudes beat the shit out of each other with a story.
But that's the point that Jim's trying to make. It is real combat.
And let me say this. While Ilya's not the biggest guy in the world,
he lifted a 300-pounder.
I want to say this.
Head, so. Tough son of a bitch.
You know, Vince, I love your little slogan, so let me say it. And now, Ilya's not as big as Walter, but I will say, this is meaty men slapping meat.
That might have been the main event. We should still use that. But this was not to mention the fact that Ilya Dragunov didn't look like a ground chuck beef patty at the end of the day.
And I keep saying that the end of this
that's a good way to say it. Yes,
it's a nice way of saying it.
The end of this match, I think these two beat each other so bad. I think Ilya forgot that he was probably supposed to win. He genuinely looked.
He was supposed to win that?
If you had told me before the match that they were going to tap out Walter, I think everyone in the world would have been like, what the hell are you doing? We didn't give a shit by the end.
It worked.
Folks, this is one of those things that proves if you let a match breathe, if you let a match go on, if you let two guys just rip it, no one gives a shit how it ends.
Right.
Nobody talks about the ending.
Right.
You talk about the ending if there's stuff left in the ring.
Right.
There was nothing left of either man.
Bro.
No.
They took it to each other.
Even Meltzer had to give this 5+ stars. It should have been 7 or 8, but
this
Jesse, I'm sorry, I gotta talk to you, boy, here. I don't think Okada and Kenny ever reached this level.
No.
Even in 60 minutes, they didn't do this.
No. And what right? If it's one of those things where, like, if they would have fought any longer, they may have killed each other. Because
somebody would have died. I think.
Somebody would be dead today.
Boys, thank you for this. Classic.
If you ain't watching NXT UK, folks, for $5 you can get Peacock and get NXT UK.
Bro, watch it now, because if you love this match, you gotta watch it now.
And by the way, the fact there were fans this time.
Yes.
Oh my God. I want to point something out. If you ever do Dragunov Walter 3, just shut up and put it in the main event of WrestleMania. I don't care if there's a title involved. I don't care if they're just fighting. Get main event of WrestleMania, it'll steal.
50,000 people will go nuts.
90,000 would go nuts for this.
There was a few people in the lounge going, "We want 3."
What else could they? Folks,
right.
I feel
what else
bad
could they do for
any,
3?
This was Rock Hogan. You couldn't follow this.
No.
I feel bad that anyone had to follow that. Like, and again, it is worth mentioning. Again, and Jesse, I want to hear your hear your sound on this. This did not feel or look like their first contest. It felt like a totally separate match.
So in their first contest, a lot of that story was how Ilya was trying to be as physical as Walter because he wanted to prove a point.
Yes,
that he could be on Walter's level,
which he proved very well.
Which he proved, but the problem was he got overconfident.
Yep,
and it cost him the match.
Yep.
And for a while, the story they were telling on NXT UK was that he lost his confidence a little bit.
Yep.
But what he gained was an aggression. Because he was like, I don't know how I lost this match. I felt like I had him beat the whole damn time.
Yep.
And so when he re-earned this championship match, he told Walter, it was almost like the Shawn Michaels Undertaker thing.
Yes.
Except Dragunov won.
Yeah, exactly.
Because it was. I know I can beat you. I made one stupid mistake and it cost me.
Yep.
I know I can beat you.
And by the way, the ending, and by the way, folks, we're just going to jump around the match here because this is El Steen if I ever had it.
Well, this is El Steen on crack.
Yeah. But here's the deal. The ending was actually perfect because here's the deal.
Yeah.
After everything they'd been through, all he had to do was lock in a sleeper, wrench that motherfucker back.
Correct.
And Walter had nothing left.
No.
There was nothing left in the man to even like they were not going to be able to do a 2-minute sell. There was no way that was going to work.
No.
After everything they'd done to each other.
Yeah.
And remember, imagine this, and Jim even said it. Imagine a crowd popping for a simple splash off the top. Because it wasn't done 18 times before.
No.
And it's just...
If you've never seen Walter in a match, but you've seen his size... The first time you see him get up there to do a splash in a big event,
what the hell is about to happen?
What the hell is he about to do?
But guys, I mean,
it was almost like, Brock missed the damn shooting star press, but it got such a reaction because it was like, what the hell is Brock doing up there?
But here's the deal. This is one of those moments where you can love Lucha, you can love Rey Mysterio, you can love any sort of high-flying contest, but damn it, if stuff like this doesn't bring you back to the old days, nothing will.
Like I tell people...
This was stiff, but nothing about this was dangerous.
No.
Nobody was in serious danger.
No.
You were going to feel like shit.
Like I said... about them possibly dying is because their heart might stop with a damn shot.
That's what I'm saying, man.
Well, if one of them stopped,
you didn't need any leg. You didn't need thigh slaps for that to hurt.
No, dude.
You just
chop
them again, and then woman's heartbit comes back.
That was all meat on bone on meat. Like those.
Oh,
I mean, my. By the way, Ilya Dragunov he's a presence. That's why I think it's a damn shame. But I respect Walter. I get his decision.
Oh, yeah.
He's got a school in his home country of Austria. I get it. But for Ilya, I think there is a future for him on main roster WWE.
He is only
television.
27 years old.
It's
People do not realize how young Ilya Dragunov actually is.
Holy shit.
He is 27 years old, and I can tell you right now, if somebody is in that office willing to just look back to the days when wrestling had 10 million people a night and be like, because here's the deal, folks, you didn't get any gimmicks,
no.
You didn't get any pyro,
no.
You didn't get this, you got two dudes in tights and boots. That was it. That was all this was.
Yeah.
And it hurt. It felt like it hurt. It looked like it hurt.
Right.
Nobody was ever in any danger. It was the safest match the whole night.
Oh, yeah.
But folks, here's the deal. A crowd that has been trained to believe in the letters NXT, to for this, for that, they've watched Gargano and Ciampa nearly maim each other.
Oh, yeah.
They popped for this.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
In the sense of, remember back during the first Great American Bash when I said Oney Lorcan and Timothy Thatcher wasn't going to work for that crowd? And it didn't. It was the lowest rated segment.
Yeah.
No offense to Thatcher or Orkin, but y'all ain't these boys.
No.
It wasn't this physical.
It just...
They try to mix in their physical with the WWE
I hate
style,
to
and they
say
couldn't
it.
make it work.
I hate to say it, but if they're gonna, hear me out for a second,
All right.
boys, before we get back to the match. If USA still wants 5 hours of TV a week,
I would just throw
hold on.
NXT UK.
No, that's my thing. You either cut NXT if it's just going to be developmental, and then back to back you do NXT and then you do NXT UK and leave NXT UK alone, or take that third hour from Raw and just make it NXT UK.
Yeah.
Because, ladies and gentlemen, and by the way, this is the point that I'm trying to make here. That's every match in NXT UK.
Yes, it is.
Oh, yeah.
Kaylee Ray shows up. We forgot to mention she shows up, and I'm sitting there like, this girl, on attitude alone, is on Raquel Gonzalez's level. But Kaylee Ray's work in NXT UK was, oh my God.
Before she ran into that buzzsaw Mako Satsumura, let me say
Good
this.
luck with that buzzsaw, folks.
She ain't losing that championship for a while. I will say this before we get off of it, because it's hard to get away from it, because it was, oh my God.
This went 22 minutes.
Watch it again.
They could have done a full hour of this. I wouldn't have cared.
You brought up Rock and Hogan, but when I was watching this match, I didn't even think of Rock and Hogan. I was like, this is why it was unfair when people had to follow the first HBK Undertaker match.
Yeah.
I'm like, it was just unfair.
Triple H literally being like, hey, congratulations, guys, behind their back. Fuck you guys.
Like, how do you follow this? Because, like, they've done everything. The crowd is now like, bro, I could go home. That was amazing. And feel like I was super entertained.
I have no negatives. They did nothing wrong.
No, I don't have negatives.
It took place in the ring.
Yeah.
There was some stuff on the outside. Dragunov took the Bobby Eaton bump.
Of course.
Off the top rope.
Yeah.
Straight onto the apron. But again, safe.
Yes.
If you watch closely, the way that he fell, he wasn't going to hurt much.
No.
But it and to the ending, to talk about his 4-year-old kid already in bed, waking up to his dad with the belt. The commentary was perfect. Like, seriously, put a bow on it, go home.
Right.
Seriously, I could watch it 5 more times, and that's because I remember everything that happened. I don't think I could find anything they did wrong.
No.
What did they do wrong?
The only thing I hate when I think about any Walter match is that we might be on borrowed time with how much longer Walter decides to wrestle.
Oh, I agree.
The guy's a generational talent. he doesn't get seen by enough eyes, and that's his own choice because
of course.
He chooses to kind of mostly stay near home.
You don't think they would have brought him over and put him on Raw or SmackDown?
I know they want
signed.
I know they want to.
If he was willing to come over to but folks, here's the deal. I give Walter credit for agreeing that match should have had fans because obviously in the UK they're not doing that right
now. They're slowly kind of doing it again.
But just folks, yes, every match in NXT UK is in the British Strong Style version.
Yeah.
But holy goddamn motherfuck, these two guys together.
Oh, I love the old Strong Style from that. I do enjoy it.
And you know what? I hate to say it to all you AEW fans. You can sit there and you can troll Jim Cornette as much as you want. You can make fun of him as much as you want for being an old head stuck in the past. But I want to be very clear. That match would have worked then. That match would work in your goddamn building.
Oh, yeah.
That match worked in any building across this country. Jerry Jones, if you show him that, would be like, "Hey Vince, I'll pay you double. I'll pay you to come to AT&T. I'll put 150,000 people in there."
By the way, they're already going back to Dallas for WrestleMania. Yes. I think next year.
Yeah.
So
this year's SoFi.
Yeah.
But that's my point. If you showed this to Jerry, even Jerry's the old timer moneymaker would say, "You let me slap some cowboy stuff on the ring, and you give me those two boys. I'll pack 150,000 people. Ain't one person gonna go home with this displeased because just AEW. I'm sorry, you have nothing to that.
No,
nothing against Punk's reaction.
Yeah,
but in turn, not even Punk can work that. I'm sorry, Punk's never been known to work that.
No,
but it's just
he was more of a technical guy, but
no, it's just folks. AEW can't touch that with a 90-foot pole. They can't. I'm sorry, you've got nothing on your roster that I care about enough to touch that match.
The only guy that's capable of doing a match like that is probably Jon Moxley and Eddie Kingston, and they wouldn't even let it breathe.
Yeah.
So they're capable of it, but now the two guys are in a tag team. So unless you split them up again for unknowable reasons, which I'm sure they will.
Yeah, they will. Give it a week.
It could change. Oh, yeah. It could change on a Wednesday when no one's actually watching before.
Yeah, exactly.
They just even with all the cuts, what WWE still has is the most, and I'll give Nick Khan this much credit. He's right when he says this. They still have the best diverse talent in the game.
They do.
They just do.
Yep. The problem is that people think diversity in AEW, but the problem is they're all working the same style.
Yeah,
they are. There's the NXT style, there's the Raw style, there's SmackDown, there's a Raw.
That UK style.
Can I just say something?
It just fits whatever.
Can I just say something? If you can offer him enough money, and because remember he was in the United States this entire time, leading up to Takeover. Mm-hmm. If you could get him and Roman in a building together. With this version of Roman Reigns, Walter and Roman.
Damn.
You want to talk about a match that could actually set box office records again?
Because to be honest, I know Brock signed a contract. He's got 8 matches on the contract.
Yeah.
I don't even think Brock could bring out that kind of physicality no more.
How about and hear me out? How about Roman and Ilya?
Man, that would be fantastic.
Here's the thing people don't get.
You know what? I'll throw you another one.
Ilya Dragunov.
I'll throw you another one.
Yeah.
Just to get Ilya started, Ilya and Kevin Owens.
Ooh. Oh. I like that. Ilya Dragunov, Jim Cornette said it best.
Kevin be the heel in the story.
Ilya Dragunov, and by the way, we didn't need Jim Cornette's review to know this. He looks 12, but he also looks like he can kick your ass at the same time.
Oh, yeah.
Right. He is every wrestling promoter from any era's dream of fighting the perfect babyface.
Yeah.
He can go. Mm-hmm. He can take the bump, and he sells like Rey Mysterio in the old days. He sells like death.
Yeah.
Shaq actually sells like he's died, but Ilya sells like death. And by the way, there was
attempted to sell like he died, and everybody watched him tap Cody Rhodes.
There was one moment, late in this match where they kind of no-sold a chop, which was when Walter chopped him and then Ilya came back with a headbutt.
Yeah.
But that was a momentous thing.
Yeah.
That actually fit the style of match they were doing, as opposed to AEW where you get power bombed and you just pop right back up.
or blocking a superstar's kick that you plan on using as a death-selling finishing move. And I love the Hall of Famer, but he shouldn't be blocking moves like that. We digress. Continue.
Folks,
I wanted the world to just realize that.
Folks, I cannot find a negative.
No.
But yet I will still talk about it because even Meltzer had to give it 5.25. It deserved 5.5. It deserves 6. It deserves. If the scale goes to 1 million, I'm sorry, your boy Kenny and Okada never put this together.
I gotta say,
in a third of the time.
You know what? Every time somebody tells me his ratings now, I literally roll my fucking eyes. And this was a man. If you would have asked me in 2014 what I think of Dave Meltzer, I used to worship the altar that he reviewed on.
Yeah.
Nowadays, I roll my eyes at him because I'm like, I don't know who he is anymore. I don't think he knows who he is any fucking more, because he's almost given in to like.
Can I also point something out? Dave Meltzer will get all the information in the world from AEW because we all know he's basically friends with that whole place. He'll never reveal anyone's actually there. He gets a whiff of WWE, he prints it immediately. So right then and there, his journalism makes no sense to me. But no, it's just this match. You know what? Screw it. Forget the rating. You can't rate this match. That's how good it was.
There you go. I agree.
But just, I mean, you're talking about a match that you... See, okay. All right. I'm just going to start listing names. You boys just answer onto the mic so everyone knows you're here.
All right.
It would have worked in the Kansas City territory.
Yeah.
The AWA territory.
Absolutely.
The Carolinas.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. The WWF.
Yes.
World-class championship wrestling.
Absolutely.
The Louisiana, Florida days.
Yes.
This would have been over huge in Sacramento.
Oh, yeah. Hell yeah.
The old deep South Texas days.
Yeah.
Mid-South.
Oh, yeah.
The old British style, the really old days.
Yeah.
With,
I'm sure Johnny Saint was fucking proud at home.
You name any company, any era, this match will forever. And again, I've always said that sometimes, and again, this is what Punk was angry about, and this is why him and I have always clashed on what he thought.
Yeah.
Sometimes there's a match you just say, fuck it, that's my main event. You're not going to be able to follow it.
Yeah.
WWE got a second chance with Undertaker Shawn. Yes. That's why it was the main event, because they realized they screwed up. I don't think anyone knew what they had in this moment, especially since they thought to themselves, it's the second one, maybe maybe won't live up. Not only did it live up, it made me forget about the first one. I don't care how long we've been on this and all we've done is gush over it, because I don't know. I want to go home and watch it again. I
probably will.
Well, you can.
It was 22 minutes that felt
nice.
That's the beauty of pro wrestling today. You can literally just go watch whatever you love again.
We're gonna watch this match in 20 years and have the same reaction. I just like Leroy. We always talk about how you used to watch all those Saturday morning shows, the late night hour-long shows. Yeah. This could have gone 60 minutes back then. They would have watched
the biggest compliment I want to
yes.
give to this match, even outside of those two.
Yes.
Because they're just phenomenal talents. And Ilya Dragunov is not a guy who is supposed to be in WWE.
Oh, God, no.
And I'm very happy he is. But got to give the commentary a lot of credit. Because
they let that breathe.
Yes.
Beth Phoenix, and again, we've always talked about how Beth is not really herself on commentary. She's being fed a lot there.
Yeah.
Beth seems like she's yelling more than she's commentating. They let that shit just go.
Oh, yeah.
Vic was doing what Vince and Paul always want, which is he's talking throughout it, but they let that match breathe.
Oh, yeah.
And they let that go. And I'm going to end this by saying, long live the Tsar, may he reign, because God damn.
Oh, he'll probably get an extremely long title run. Because
he better.
I got to be honest, when I look up and down the UK roster right now, as it currently is formatted, Noam Dar, maybe.
Noam and him could have a very unique clash of styles.
Of course, the big strong boy, maybe.
Yeah,
but that's only 3. The rest of them aren't even. They weren't. I mean, most of them weren't even worthy of Walter. And now, Dragunov has elevated his game so much. I don't know how you take the title off of him. There's not a believable contender outside of those.
Here's
guys.
the thing. when you do finally take that belt off of him,
unless a certain guy is maybe making his way there, 50 years old, likes to beat up young lions.
Young women as well.
Once told an American fan who booed him in Texas, I will drag you out and whip your ass. And so he sat down. Because he was like, no, I believe you. Yeah, no, I'm not going to do this.
Here's the deal. Here's the deal. Oh, yeah. 2 things that I think they should just break the bank for because the return's going to be forever. Grab Suzuki for one night.
You got to see if you can get Suzuki for at least a storyline.
one match with Ilya.
Oh, my God.
Even if Suzuki doesn't go over, one match with Ilya.
Dude, because if you do that, you'd be like, listen, we're going to try to build it on UK TV.
Because when Satomura went over,
yeah,
that made sense.
See, that's the one where I'd be like, listen, we're going to actually have the UK title on, like, WrestleMania or Royal Rumble or something like that.
Yeah.
Because they'd be like, listen, we got to get our fans to see this fucking attraction of a match.
And she can still go. That's the
Oh, yeah.
But just, all right, so I'm going to leave on this. When the title finally comes off, if he's willing to do it, give him a WrestleMania moment because he will not disappoint you.
No, Ilya is amazing.
It's not possible for him to disappoint you. And also, I'm going to say this.
Walter, by the way, great job of carrying the company.
Absolutely. Here's the
carrying the brand, I should say, for as long as you did.
Here's the thing: the reign lived up.
Oh yeah.
To the time. Punk's reign for a while got a little meh.
Yeah.
But they didn't have anybody.
Yeah, he didn't have a challenge really.
But that
until probably Brock.
Yeah. that reign of 870 days, I was never bored.
No.
And I'm just going to say it here. Paul, Vince, if you're still alive when it finally happens, if you can find a way to do 2 things right, give me a third one.
Yeah.
Here's the 2 things. Number 1, leave them alone and just let them do what they want to do. And number 2, put it at the main event of WrestleMania, because I don't care if you don't think they're stars, by the end of it, they'll both be made men.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
This is the equivalent of, you could literally just paint over their names and say these are 2 dudes, they're in the main event, the crowd will boo for 10 minutes, but after 10 minutes they will be hooked, they will love it.
I will say this, they'll be confused at first because most of that crowd are usually casual fans.
Yeah, exactly.
But once they get going, they'll be in.
But hey folks, again, for those of you out there who are listening that hate it, I gotta be honest, this is once again Cornette when he speaks and says wrestling was supposed to be combat. It was supposed to be 2 men with a struggle.
Mm-hmm.
The proof is in the reaction of not just the fans that were there, but the results of even Dave Meltzer in 2021 gave WWE a 5-star match.
Right.
Yeah.
Even Dave knew what he was watching. Even if his rating didn't mean bullshit, he knew what he was watching.
Out of a million. Okay, Dave, I'm done with you.
And by the way, I ain't even mad the next day when they showed Walter and Ilya on the beach together because Ilya still had the fucking bruises.
Oh my God.
That was the funniest picture I've ever seen.
Dude, he looked worse than what remember Daniel Bryan was in the Royal Rumble.
Yep.
Oh. And it was like, yo, Daniel, go home.
Yeah.
Because they showed the photo. And it was like, bro, you need to go rest. You look like you almost went through a meat grinder, bro.
but by the way, folks, if you watch it, as violent as it was, I never felt either guy was going to get permanently injured in that match.
No,
not a chance.
No.
Never. They took care of each other in ways that is just not seen anymore.
And here's the thing: that with Walter, he's a guy who wrestles. You almost have to have an extremely physical match. Because if you see him wrestle just in exhibition, he usually just dominates. He's a physical dude.
Yeah.
So
and by the way, do we forget Ilya lifted him off his feet 3 times in that match?
Yeah.
Back body drop, German suplex.
But I'll be honest.
What was the third one?
I've also seen him lift Jeff Cobb in person. And
That's true.
And I've seen him lift Brody King in person. So while other people might have been shocked, I'm like, no, I remember that Ilya is insanely strong for his size.
All I gotta say is this: like I said, ladies and gentlemen, long live the reign of the Tsar.
Yes.
May he rule with that iron curtain fist.
Yes, definitely.
fuck did I love that match.
Oh, yeah. All right.
Other than that, I think, you know what, since it's still on the list, it's worth mentioning, because here's the deal. I'm actually excited for it, because it is the 50-50 of it. I know it seems weird to end on this when we had Ilya
What are we talking
and then
about?
Walter, but Miz turning on John Morrison.
Who?
Yeah.
Who?
Yeah.
Who?
The Miz.
Miz. Oh, the guy who used to be a reality TV star.
Yes.
The guy who lucked himself into marrying one of the hottest French women ever.
Yes.
Yeah.
The guy who literally crapped his pants during the match.
Yes.
And everyone saw it.
Yes.
Not the CM Punk story, but the guy who actually did it and everyone saw it. I'll give you I'll tell you where to go find that footage. It's embarrassing.
Oh, I've seen it.
Shut up about that guy.
You know what? All I gotta say is I'm looking forward to it. These guys know how to work together. It's they're regardless of how we feel about their personal lives in ring. Johnny's always been phenomenal.
John Morrison better whoop his ass tomorrow.
And
I do hope so.
If John Morrison does not just squash him tomorrow, if I was John, I would be like, the only reason I might stay for a little while longer is my wife, because otherwise, I don't know. I'd be like, I don't know what I'm doing back here.
I'll say this though, John, when you watch him on Miz and Morrison, because that's kind of who he is.
Well, yeah.
I feel like John, he saw the world, he got his excursion in, he got to do what he wanted. I think he's happy to just be back and have fun.
Yeah, that guy should be a
Hopefully,
main event player. All the problems that Raw has, that dude should be a main event player. Because when I look at Raw, they're going to end up going back to Lashley and McIntyre. You want to know why? Lashley has no challengers besides a U.S. champion and McIntyre. Let me repeat. He has no challengers outside the new U.S. champion, which, by the way, I'm happy that my prediction came to fruition when it came to Damian Priest.
Yes.
And that he was rewarded after being told, listen, if this doesn't work out with Bad Bunny, this could be done for you.
Well, but again, also, he created a pillow in which he can fall on if he does mess up, that Vince can look back and say, okay, you made that work.
Yeah.
We'll give you a little more rope
to
hang yourself
and
with.
He did a great job with the Miz stuff.
He did.
I'm sorry, guys. It's so weird when I react to the Miz viscerally, because I actually like him as a person.
Yeah.
But as a pro wrestler, I've always despised this man. Not because he's like I'm not Daniel Bryan, where I think he's like a soft guy or anything like that. He's worked his ass off.
Oh yeah.
But besides his heel run when he was Intercontinental Champion in 2018, 2017, I've never been able to take him seriously.
Which is fair.
But otherwise, yeah. It will be interesting to see what they do with Morrison after this, because they do need one more babyface guy.
Yeah.
Because Vince and Bruce Pritchard have done a terrible job with what is an excellent champion on Raw. And no, I'm not talking about Charlotte. Sorry, sweetie. You're a Hall of Famer, but I'm not giving you that credit yet. If you don't make this Alexa Bliss thing work, then I don't want to hear about you
And
anymore.
it won't be Alexa's fault, because we've learned over the years Alexa can work with anybody.
Alexa is excellent.
Yeah, she can work with
She
anybody.
made it work with one of the biggest egos I've ever seen, Rhonda. You don't have to come back after you have the baby. Thank you. Keep your ass at home. Plus, I don't want to look at your ugly ass husband ever again. I digress.
Anyway.
But yeah, I hope he whoops his ass and we can start to build Morrison, because they need another big-time babyface on Raw. Badly.
And Morrison, like I said, has proved he can work with anybody.
Yeah.
I watched him make Lucha Underground work. I've watched him make...
The guy, and he's phenomenal.
Actually, no. I have to be fair. There is one person he couldn't work with, but nobody can work with Austin Aries, so...
The guy's an ass clown.
There we go. Yep.
Anyway, I know it seems weird that we ended on that note, but like I said, I think it's worth mentioning because I'm actually intrigued by it a little bit, which is hard to do on Raw. It also helped Raw break 2 million, which they finally did.
Right.
Well,
so by the way, AEW, even CM Punk's return, and you couldn't beat Raw. You couldn't beat Raw,
which is still one of the harder wrestling shows to watch.
Yep.
Well, I said next week, after Friday, we'll have to see if somebody that people thought were going to be back on Friday and he wasn't. Maybe he'll be back this week.
Well, let me say this about Brock Lesnar, because that's who you're talking about.
Yeah. Please do.
He has 8 matches.
Yes.
People, that doesn't mean he's going to appear all the damn time. He has 8 matches on his new contract.
Supposedly he signed a 18-month deal.
And apparently
which
he's going to be booked as nothing but a babyface. Which is going to be fucking weird, but I'm looking forward to it.
It'll be very interesting.
Here's the thing, though.
And I will say this.
I'm intrigued.
The card for Raw tomorrow so far?
Yeah.
Looking pretty good.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. Brock Lesnar, every fan knows, hates professional wrestling. He wants the money, he wants the farm, he wants the family, he wants to go home. He likes to be at home. He hates people.
That's fine. He found a way to marry Sable, of all people.
But here's the deal, folks. Mm-hmm. But here's the deal.
He may whoop my ass one day, but that's cool.
Yeah. But here's the deal.
I'll say it to his face.
Brock came out there, and he pandered.
It's been years.
Can anybody remember without a little research the last time Brock Lesnar pandered to a live crowd?
2006.
I think so. Yeah.
It's been a while, folks.
15 years,
folks. I've seen Brock have fun with the Eddie shit.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Which, by the way, Eddie was totally cool with. Eddie thought that was hilarious.
Oh yeah. Coming out with the damn
that was
the mariachis, which was funny as shit.
Brock and R-Truth was a lot of fun.
Oh yeah.
Brock in the briefcase was good. Folks, if Brock is somewhat intrigued and has a little fun, boy,
he's great to watch when he's invested. When he's invested,
and here's the deal. Brock is now a silverback gorilla. He found out he could get in shape, and it was like, oh damn!
His matches will be very interesting.
That is.
Now
he was dangerous with the gut. Can you imagine him slimmed?
I know. It'll be interesting to see because they did announce that. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Card is always subject to change, of course.
Yes.
13.
We love that. Yes.
Everybody.
Self to promote ourselves.
All the time.
The end of the show.
All the time. They did announce that Finn Balor will get a title match on Friday. We'll see if it happens.
Yes.
Because Brock is advertised to be there on their thing.
Yes.
So we'll see. But yeah, like I said, I'm looking forward to Raw tomorrow. I'm looking forward to that match.
Finn may not in this run, but Finn's going to get back to that main event scene because he showed down in NXT that there's something still to have.
I technically think he's already in their main event scene on SmackDown.
Right. What I'm saying is that they're going to give him the belt at some point.
Oh, at some point.
He's going to get it
at some point. And I think kind of having him constantly around Roman and just really the threat of like, even if Roman somehow just wins by DQ on Friday, like the threat of like, dude, you still can't beat this dude.
Ladies and gentlemen, one of the lost arts in wrestling is just take a guy and have him be around the main event guys.
Yeah.
And then people are just trained to be like, okay, this is a main event star.
Yeah.
Look, Prince Devitt is already main event anywhere else in the world. But Finn's got to work his way up because Finn's had problems.
I will say this. The call-up so far has been he's a main event player on SmackDown.
Oh, yes.
And he's someone that, besides Brock, Roman worries about because it's a guy he does not have a great record against.
No.
I think he's never beat him.
I don't think so.
So it's he, and then of course, I'm sure they'll do the Seth Roman thing again, but the dynamics are different, so it will be very fun.
Yes.
But yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see. But I'm actually looking forward to Raw tomorrow.
You know what?
By the way, people go to our YouTube, subscribe. I will be doing a Raw review right after the show.
Fantastic. Okay, you know what? I'm going to surprise you boys with a little extra card here, man.
Okay.
Boys, I'm going to throw this out there because we're going to have to go deep into our pasts for this one. You know what? Let's just get it out of the way. Let's not wait until the hype dies down. Let's try to do this at the peak of popularity.
All right.
Is Roman the best person to ever come out of the Samoan dynasty?
No.
Outside of Brock?
You son of a bitch.
I hate you to throw that in there.
I'm about to say, because if you didn't, that was easy.
Well, but I always see Rock as somebody that was... Rock didn't make it on the Samoan dime, though. Rock made it on himself, and then the Samoan heritage came in later on when WWE was in the Ruthless Aggression era, not the Attitude era. Rock got himself over. That's my point, Jesse. Has anyone ever taken the Samoan dynasty and really done more with it than him?
than Roman.
You can include Yoko. I'm okay with including Yokozuna.
Well, it's kind of weird to do that just because he
was never affiliated with.
He was never affiliated. He was considered a sumo wrestler,
which was weird.
But for Successful Family, he's there. But now with Roman holding that title as long as he has, he's gonna go past him.
On this level, no. And the only reason I'm actually, as you heard the reluctance in my voice, is because unfortunately Jacob has only done it on the Indies and MLW.
That's fair.
But otherwise, on this kind of level. And by the way, like I said, that's coming. Jacob Fatu is coming.
Yes.
By the way, which will make this whole Bloodline story very interesting.
But my whole point about this is that Roman has taken something.
Yeah.
And not just his in-ring work, which has been great for what he's supposed to do. And again, he's sticking to what he's supposed to do. He just is not only presented, but he looks like a star. It's just if you're sitting there telling me that Roman Reigns isn't a star right now,
Roman Reigns is the best thing in professional wrestling. No one likes to admit it, but Roman Reigns is the best thing in professional wrestling.
And that's not a shot against Jay. Jay's just in a lull right now with what's the belt he's got right now? Never.
It's the Never Open Championship. But like I said, the reason I say that because it's not like Jay couldn't draw on that level if given the chance.
Yes.
But Roman is at such it's one of those weird things because Austin wasn't really a babyface, but everyone loved him because he felt like the working class man back in the day. As a heel, you gotta tune into SmackDown to see what the hell this dude's about to do. He's more relaxed in this role. Like his interviews outside of WWE has gotten people to watch SmackDown because you're like, I thought we were supposed to cheer this dude. He's a dick.
His promo skills.
I also thought it was so brilliant. And this is one moment you can't harp on anything WWE did wrong. Whichever writer did it, whichever backstage person did it, this was brilliant to have SmackDown to make it look like Paul's in trouble. But then you find out not even 10 minutes later, it's just from the Usos.
Yeah.
Roman's not involved in that. Roman's like, I gotta open my own door now? Or Roman playing it off like it's nothing this early, that was fucking gold.
Yes.
Yeah, it's like
and that deserves an F-bomb.
Yes.
That is effing gold.
Yes.
Well, like because you said, Roman told me it was family.
Yeah.
Roman could have just as easily walked in and been pissy and walked around like a child that got their binky taken away, and he's just like, what? Wait, Brock? Brock happened? I think whoever did that.
By the way, that's his biggest rival in the company.
Yeah.
Who just Cena level to try to upstage him.
Yeah.
And he's just like, Brock happened. What happened? Like,
and now the final card, which again, boys, I'm sorry, one more. Did the Summer of Cena work?
Yes.
For ratings and drawing people in, yes.
Not even that. Did it work to sort of reestablish to everyone's mind what John was?
Yes.
John Cena... Now, did John Cena reestablish himself as an or is he still a what was?
I think what the Summer of Cena did...
As much as you felt it was overhyped.
And I do, and I still do, but I think what it did
also,
overall,
by the way, Summer of Punk, we're in goddamn September.
I'm not even going to get into that.
Okay.
We got to do that on another show.
Okay.
Because that means I have to yell at AEW marks, and so we'll wait.
Okay.
Punk, the fall.
Put that on the list for next week, Wheeler.
Oh, my God. Anyway.
Go.
As you can see, what? No, I'm good. So, as far as the Summer of Cena,
yes.
I think what it really did was it kind of reminded you, like, you know what? Maybe Michael Cole is right. He might be the greatest of all time.
I don't know who you take off of the WWE Mount Rushmore, because right now it's Rock, Stone Cold, Hogan.
Listen, I think Cena might be the best of them, because think about it. He's the first megastar they built who the fans actually did turn on.
Yes.
And even through all that, people didn't like that he stayed a babyface, but when you go back and look, So they recently re-put up a video that was actually originally shot in 2013.
Yeah.
Where a kid was talking about how, like, you know, he learned about his mother having cancer, and he was one of the biggest John Cena fans.
Yeah.
And because he kept bringing her the merchandise, never give up, never give up. You know, Mom, I love you. My hero, John Cena, always says never give up.
Yeah.
And, like, when they came out to talk to him, you can see he was genuinely fucking humble. Like, the man genuinely loves his fans and goes out of his way for them.
I think that John was wrongfully portrayed as a robotic person.
Yes.
In the Bellas show. And I'm not saying that was a scripted thing. I just think
I think he never wanted to be a part of that.
Well, that, but I also think John likes his life to be a little bit private.
Yes.
But that's not to say that he still can't perk up the minute there's a kid in the room or there's a fan in the room.
And I think one of the things that the Summer of Cena kind of reminded us of is, he's a star. And he's a star that they built. But he's never forgotten us. Even like I said, even when back in the day, guys like myself thought that they turned on us.
He also this is the first time that he's back.
Yeah.
Where he's now a little bit more humbled of what Dwayne did.
Yes.
Yeah. He's a little bit more respectable. And again, I'm not even mad that he was mad at Dwayne. It made sense. Not even storyline. It made sense in general. He was a younger
guy back then.
Yeah, and not only but here's the deal. People don't realize Dwayne left because he knew he had to.
Yes.
Because here's the deal. If Dwayne doesn't leave when he did, I'm not saying he doesn't get an opportunity to be in a movie. But if he doesn't do Scorpion King at that moment, if he doesn't do The Mummy at that moment to become the Scorpion King, which was an unofficial sort of like prequel lead into it, he doesn't do that.
Yeah.
He's not in Fast and the Furious. No. He's not in G.I. Joe.
He doesn't become the biggest movie star on the planet.
Moana?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he's the biggest movie star on the planet. There's no questions asked.
He would have become a star because of who he is, but I don't think he would have gotten to that point, this point, if he hadn't done what he did. And here's the deal, folks. John, and I'm not trying to create a cultural thing here, but John grew up in West Newbury, Massachusetts. It's not exactly known for people without money. That's just an honest thing.
That's factual.
Rock's life, and Jesse can attest to this, always having to work a little bit harder no matter what you did.
And here's the thing. People forget, while his dad was a very well-known professional wrestler, didn't make a lot of money.
No.
Did not make a lot of money.
Jesse,
he was able to pay for the apartment.
Yes.
He was able to keep a roof over his son's head.
Yes.
But he never asked his dad for anything.
No. But to come home and see an eviction notice.
Yeah.
I mean, folks.
When he's still on the road.
Yep. I mean, well, and here's the deal. Failed football career, even though it wasn't really a failure. Success there, but not.
Yeah.
Folks, Rock is someone that just... He had so many disadvantages.
Yeah.
Third generation. That's hard. People are like, oh, they protect you. Not unless you can perform. No. Randy can perform. That's why Randy's protected.
Yep.
Dwayne could perform. That's why he's protected.
Yep.
A lot of generational stars can't put up that kind of numbers.
Correct.
But anyway, Rock was also black.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that didn't work out in the time he was coming up.
No.
He got given a really bad gimmick from the start.
People hated him for it.
He was athletic, but he said, "Give me a microphone," and then all of a sudden it's like, "Well, damn." But folks, John's life was never really that bad off. John was going to do well whether this worked out or not.
Correct.
Dwayne's upbringing.
I will give John this.
Yes.
Though.
Okay. Yeah.
He was insanely passionate. He didn't want to do anything else.
Exactly. No. Yeah. Exactly.
But when he was offered to go work with Jim Cornette, and go learn this business
in OVW,
he said he's like, I didn't want to go back to West Newbury, because that means I have to go work for my dad, and that means I failed my life. Like, he said that.
Right. But my point is this, is that Dwayne was handed the racist card from the get-go. So Dwayne's upbringing created a different mindset in, okay, this is here, I gotta do it.
Correct.
I have no choice. Because if I don't do it, and I think about what if, well, then you're Dennis Schroeder. Sorry. Sorry, Dennis. You ain't gonna make 84 back. That's not ever gonna happen.
I'm not even gonna get into that.
But anyway,
my own show.
but anyway, no. Here's the deal. You can't say Summer of Cena didn't bring eyeballs back, because even Raw benefited.
And
he was on there once.
Yep.
But it brought eyeballs.
Raw's ratings have not gone back to that 1.4, which was their, by the way, AEW. That's your all-time highest. That's Raw's lowest. Anyway, they have not gone back to that area of ratings since John came back.
Correct.
They haven't. They've had some rough nights.
To give them credit, Goldberg helped. Fucking asshole, but he did help.
Ladies and gentlemen, this business, regardless of how we feel,
admitted that because by the way, he should have paid attention because the camera weren't on them at the time.
Yeah.
But apparently he literally choked his son for a second because he saw his son smile. Because of course Bobby didn't feel.
Because here's the deal. Regardless of how you feel about Bill Goldberg, in that moment, he still had respect for the business.
Yes.
And John's you don't need to be smiling.
And if Gage wants to have anything to do with this, you got to play the part, kid. It's interesting. In that moment, I actually gained a lot more respect for Bill Goldberg because it showed me that he was still taking this serious.
Well, of course.
Bill Goldberg actually wants kayfabe to be alive in some way. And a lot of the older guys are over that.
Yeah.
They are. Because it doesn't make them money anymore. But Bill can still make money at this. He got in shape that I don't think anyone his age is capable of these days.
Like I said, I thought that match went really well, and I got to give him a lot of credit.
Yeah.
I don't like giving him credit.
No, I know you don't.
But when credit's due, you just give somebody.
You do. You got to.
But no. It's just. I actually gain respect because people can laugh at that, but Gage is obviously not mad at his dad for it.
No.
Gage is not pulling a kid from Nirvana's Nevermind.
Fucking.
God, slap the shit out of that
Which,
guy.
by the way, folks, if you wonder what's going on, you might have a case if you didn't recreate the photo every year of your life until now.
Thank you.
Anyway, but no, here's the deal. Summer of Cena, 100% success, can't even question it.
No.
They sold a bunch of merch. They got the ratings push, and I think, and the sad part about it is WWE may sustain that push.
Yes.
AEW, let's see if they can sustain the Punk push.
Because like I said, what will be interesting is after the Darby Allin match.
Yeah.
Maybe Punk decides to take a little break because, I mean, who else is going to fight fucking Cody? Actually, that's probably who will fight next. Otherwise...
Well, Cody has to go home to film season 2.
Oh, crap.
Dude, even their fans think this is a shit idea. Anyway, I can't believe they're doing that.
Can't believe they do a season 2.
As much as you look up to Triple H, could you not take a cue from him? I will never put me and Stephanie's relationship on that kind of level. Because we don't care.
Well, can I be honest with you? Outside of their work, I think those two are probably boring as hell.
Oh, and home? Oh, yeah.
First of all, it's Hunter, who's been portrayed as one of the biggest men of all time. He's got 3 girls. And also, I hate, it's like, we said this once in the show.
Yeah.
Folks, regardless of if you think it was ever about his career, it's clear to me it wasn't about the career.
No.
That's genuine, that's real.
Yes.
Yep. I don't think it's about the kids because remember, they were working together for years before the kids.
Yes, they were.
The kids are actually a newer thing in their life.
Yeah.
So, no, that's genuine, that's real. But honestly, I honestly think because the real Paul Levesque is Triple H in DX. We all know that.
You mean Dad DX?
Yeah.
God, those jokes are terrible.
But here's the deal.
I wholeheartly believe Leroy has money because he wrote all those jokes.
Yep. They weren't horrible. Jeez,
Yep.
Dad. The best.
Triple H and Stephanie can at least admit they're boring. Sadly, David Hasselhoff only got one episode on A&E of his reality show before they pulled that.
Sucked.
I wouldn't be surprised if whatever road to whatever it is.
It didn't premiere in Germany. That's why.
That's true.
That's fair.
He's huge in
He
Germany.
is God in Germany.
Yeah.
I don't understand that because I'm part German, but he's in Germany.
What the fuck is wrong with German people? Anyway, hey, when the wall came down, something happened. Anyway, but no.
No comments.
No,
drunk and too many bratwursts.
I would not be surprised if this debuts to about as low a rating as you could think.
Who gives a shit?
Cody, we all would have rather seen your dad in his older years than seeing you right now. Because I'm sorry, your wife, outside of one heifer line, which by the way was Butch Reed on Mid-South TV. It was basically the same thing. You know the promo I'm talking about, Butch Reed. Yeah. But anyway, your wife is a charisma vacuum.
She's pretty boring.
She is, bro. She did one somersault off the top.
As I once put in an AEW board, and some people didn't like it, but the black dudes laughed because they understood. I'm like, for as beautiful as that chocolate woman is, she's vanilla as shit.
Yeah. Folks.
She looks good. Just don't say anything.
She is as flavorless as some of those outfits. I mean, listen. I love that woman.
Was there any reason for her to be in that Forbes picture? Was there any reason at all?
She is their marketing director, so I guess it makes sense.
Yeah, but really the marketing director as opposed to the EVPs and the billion-dollar owner?
Well, to be honest,
we went all the way down to the marketing director?
Let's be real. Do you think the young bucks are going to fucking put on suits to look professional?
That's fair.
They're not.
Do we want to answer that question honestly?
No.
Okay. So I will give them credit for that. I
honestly don't think Kenny owns a pair of pants. I think he just has bum shorts. We talk about bum-ass Corbin. Has anybody talked about bum-ass Omega?
Fuck. We need to trademark that. That's going to be a new segment. Bum-ass Kenny. Bum-ass Omega.
BAO or BAK? Back.
Yeah, back.
We'll call it the back segment. All right, I like
Bum-ass Kenny.
Write that down. All right, BAK.
Bum-ass Kenny.
Bum-ass Kenny. I like that.
New segment through AEW now.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate you staying with us. We appreciate Jack Ledger. If he listens back to this, we thank you, sir.
Yes,
If you listen to the end, we thank you for your time.
Remember, like you said, Instagram, Jack_Ledger00.
We can't wait to have him back. It was a short interview, but we had fun.
Yes.
He was a good laugh.
Yes, he is. Good sport, too.
Yeah, I want to say it. I'm so happy I get to be like Colin Cowherd for 30 seconds. iHeartRadio, please find us.
Go find us. You'll
13 cards, subject to change.
Follow us, like us. I got to figure out how we can get numbers and how we're doing on that. I got to get a hold of iHeart and ask them that. Or Podomatic.
And by the way, one more time, because it's been a while since we've said it. Folks, if you are a random-ass person in the middle of Bumshart, Nebrahoma, if you find us on social media, we'll put you on the show.
Yes, we will.
That's true.
Thank you all very much. Y'all have a wonderful day. For all of us at 13 Cards Subject to Change, Zach, Jesse, Leroy, we will see you guys next week with some possible red hair.